It's Wales against England from Cardiff, and today the Principality Stadium will host only its second Women's Six Nations match, with a record crowd of over 25,000 expected. Both sets of fans come with a sense of expectation. England are on the hunt for a seventh successive Six Nations title, with half an eye on the Rugby World Cup on home soil later this year. Wales beat England in this fixture 10 years ago, albeit during the amateur era. Can these Dragons roar once again today?
Hi guys, I'm Welsh, I'm coming home and I am super excited.
Harris Phillips will light the touch paper on Wales' 2025 Guinness Six Nations campaign.
Only being with the group for 1 week, there's some real big steps we can be taking forward with it.
Wales women are the sleeping giant of the global women's game.
Them winning, it's not something we should be thinking about right now. But challenging them, making them uncomfortable, scoring against them, that's moving in the right direction.
The reigning champions set off on the 2025 campaign with yet another win. It finishes in York, England 38, Italy 5.
I reckon the Red Roses deserve to play in outstanding stadiums, so to be able to play in the Principality against Wales, our neighbours, is huge. So yeah, we look forward to it.
An encouraging start for Wales, but they face an England side in white-hot form. The fans to go. We are live from the Principality Stadium, and kickoff is in just under 30 minutes' time. And it promises to be some atmosphere inside the Principality today, and I'm delighted to say I'm going to enjoy it all in the company of former England head coach Simon Middleton, former Wales captain Siwan Lillicrap, and former England captain Katie Daly-McLean. And this here is a special moment for Welsh sport, for Welsh women's sport, because it'll be a record crowd today for a standalone sporting fixture for Welsh women. And there are those who say, oh, shouldn't you pack out a smaller stadium? Tell us why it's so important to be here.
Oh, it's so important, isn't it? Not just for women's rugby, for women's sport in Wales. This occasion is spectacular, and I may be biased, but the best stadium in the world here in Cardiff, Principality Stadium. These players deserve this opportunity to play on this turf and set this stadium alight.
Now, I'm not going to have you two arguing already, and you arguing for a totally different stadium somewhere in southwest London. But this is a big occasion. These women know each other a lot from their domestic, the PWR. They know themselves inside out. But playing here at the Principality for these England players will be a special moment.
Yeah, look, as the best players in the world, you want to play at the best stadiums, and this is up there. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's up there. These girls know each other really well, like you say, PWR. But the opportunity just gives the women's game. It elevates it, they do it really well. I think it's going to be an awesome day.
It is, the atmosphere is building. And Simon, this is your first visit to the Principality.
It is indeed.
It could have been your home, though, because there's a white elephant in the stadium. You actually got a call when the WRU were looking for their new head coach for the women. Tell us how that went.
Yeah, just had a discussion. You know, obviously Wales were looking at all their options. I think they unquestionably got the right man for the job. In this instance, I think Siwan Lynn's going to do a great job for him.
Well, enthusiasm is definitely the watchword, isn't it, with him at the moment? The players seem to really love him. They love what he's doing, and it's a journey, isn't it, for them? Hannah Jones has said that it's kind of like a free hit for them. They've just got to go for it against this team. They're not expected to upset the odds, and they've got to throw themselves into this fixture.
100%, and I don't think anyone in world rugby is expecting Wales to come out and win today, but what they're looking for is an improvement in performance from last week in Edinburgh. Siwan Lynn's been in 2 weeks, and this Welsh team doesn't need any more kind of backing than playing England. The rivalry, the emotion, it's all there.
It's great rivalry, isn't it?
It doesn't get any better. I think you look at the Six Nations games and you look at the calendar and you see Wales. There'll be loads of niggle, there's one-on-one battles. They bring that ferocious fight on their chest, and for me it was one of my favourite games.
And just as you say that, the choirs are about to strike up over there as well, just to add more atmosphere to this incredible stadium. Let's have a little look, though, at the table with one game already played today in round 2. That took place at La Rochelle, where France beat Scotland 38 points to 15. 3 second-half tries for France is where the floodgates opened, because Scotland had them tight at one moment in that game. But you can have a look at the table and see that France sit top on 9 points. England, of course, have only played one game on 5. Scotland failed to add add to their tally of 4. Wales have just picked up 1 so far, and Ireland, Italy, pointless. But they play tomorrow, so it won't end that way at the end of round 2 for them. Somebody's got to pick up some points tomorrow, and you can see that 3 o'clock kickoff on iPlayer and, of course, across the BBC. So the Dragons are hoping that they can cause an upset here against their great rivals from across the Severn Bridge, just like they did 10 years ago. Their last win against the Red Roses, where hooker Caris Phillips and scrum half Kira Bevan were the only 2 who have made it to today's squad from that side. Let's get the rest of the team news now with Sonia McLaughlin.
And new Wales coach Sean Lynn is going for consistency of selection at the start of his tenure. Plus it's England, so he's named a very strong team. Let's have a look at it. Just 2 changes from the side that lost to Scotland last weekend. The 2 Gwens, Pearce and Crabb, come into the line-up at prop and lock respectively after coming off the bench last weekend. Both have battled back from serious injury. Pearce had neck surgery last winter, and this her first start since then, while Crabb last started a Six Nations match 2 years ago. She's had a really torrid time with a broken ankle and then a ruptured ACL, but she's back and replaces the other Pearce sibling, Allow, who drops to the bench. So a first home game of Sean Lynn's tenure. It's against England at the Principality Stadium. So a little time ago, I asked him how his players are coping with this huge occasion.
Oh, look, they're excited by it, and I'm just all about making sure the girls are out there. Nothing really changes. It's 4 white lines, 15 v 15, but doesn't get bigger than this, does it? Principality and Wales, England.
Sport is often about the solitary rehab, isn't it, after injury? So how pleased are you that you can name both Gwens in this team, Pearce and Crabb, to start?
Oh, really pleased, you know. It's about me making sure I can rotate the squad. Seeing Gwen Pearce starting today, and then Gwen Crabb starting as well, and the impact players coming off the bench. That's what I'm hoping for today.
Now, you've acknowledged in your own words that Rome isn't built in a day, but what do you think you can take from the Scotland performance that you can build on against what is a strong England team?
Yeah, it's a very strong England team, you know, and they're #1 in the world. And John Mitchell, he's made 13 changes. So, look, there's a lot of respect here that they're coming to the Principality. But we've got some real good wins from Scotland last week, and that's what we've been building on, and big focus has been about us this week and making sure we can get some small wins today.
Have you got lots of family members been asking you for tickets today?
I got a lot of family members coming up, which is lovely. It's a great occasion, and it's amazing for the Welsh public to be here today.
Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
A great occasion and a big ask when it's your second match as head coach. But you've been having a look at areas that you think could give the Wales fans some hope.
Yeah, 100%. You know, there's some good stuff against Scotland last week in Edinburgh, and you know, we've seen England really suffer at the breakdown against Italy last weekend. Italy really stopping their momentum. England looking a little bit scrappy at times when Italy were putting pressure on them, and Italy getting the reward at the breakdown. Wales missed a lot of tackles last week, but then when the hustle and the desire for this side to get back, we see Jazz Joyce over the ball here, and the battles at the breakdown were exceptional. You see Kira Bevan working hard back, Jazz Joyce again, great profile over the ball.
She is so good in that space, and I think, you know, England are going to want to move the ball to the edges, so I think it's an opportunity that Wales will have identified in the week, and they'll be encouraging the likes of Jazz to get over there and have a go at that ball.
100%. And Sean Lynn spoke last week, didn't he, about energy and no team would outwork them, and we've seen that desire from Wales last week.
What have you seen from a Wales perspective where they can exploit some England weaknesses?
Well, I think, you know, one of the things they did really well last week was drive them all. And one of the things that England didn't do particularly well was defend the drive, and that's what happened here. Italy get over for a driving maul try. And I think, you know, it's been an area where they've been really, really strong in the past. They've been a little bit vulnerable here, and Wales have done really well. And I think this is an area where we'll target. I think Wales will want to turn it into a really gnarly game. They want to play through the forwards, they want to keep it tight, and I think the more of this they can get embroiled into, the better. We see a try here, and then not long after this, they had another driving maul, collapsed, and then they got into a real tight pick-and-go game. 3 really impactful carries, and then they're going to score off the back of it. And this is the game that they'll absolutely love today if they can get into this.
100%, and that's where Wales in history has told us: set piece, driving maul, scrums, forwards getting through a lot of work. That's where they've got the rewards in the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
A gnarly game, and if they're going to have that, it's going to be led by Ciara Bevan. She is going to relish it if it turns into something of a dogfight there.
She is, you know, she's that type of player. Her and Mo Hunt are going to have a really good battle. But she's just so bright, you know. She's a talented, she's a smart scrum half there. Head up, seeing the space, scanning what's in front of her. Yeah, maybe shouldn't have thrown that offload. Again, on her approach, she's got her head up. She's looking whether Scotland are engaged and whether they've got them guards either side of the ruck. And it's a really nice snipe. For me, a lot of Welsh's energy last weekend came from her. Again, short side, picks out that one Scotland defender and puts Lisa Neumann away. So I think all the bright bits for Wales came from that lady, Ciara Bevan.
And that, as a matchup against Mo Hunt today, should be a really intriguing one. OK, let's turn our attention to England now and get some team news from Sonia.
Well, John Mitchell has talked about having two teams at time during the Women's World Cup, but he started the Six Nations in similar vein, so it's all changed from the side that beat Italy in York last weekend. Only captain Zoe Allcroft and Maddie Fauanati remain from last weekend, so 13 changes. He's got effectively three fly halves in the 23. Zoe Harrison starts with Holly Aitchison and Helena Rowland on the bench in what feels like a World Cup audition for the 10 jersey. If it was the World Cup final tomorrow, Ellie Kildunn would start at fullback, and she returns for a 50th cap in a back three that scored a combined 18 tries in last year's tournament. It's a really strong lineup, effectively England's A team. But there's no place in the 23 for last year's Six Nations winning captain, Marley Packer.
England head coach John Mitchell's joined us in the studio to talk a bit further about your selection. 13 changes points to, one, an embarrassment of riches, and it does, as Sonia alluded to there, suggest an A and a B team that England have got.
It's certainly a new combination, Gabby. Good to get started with them. It'll be challenging for them today because it's their first start. I'm very grateful for the competition, and the girls are loving the competition as well. So performance is certainly an expectation amongst the group.
Is that what it's about, creating competition in the group, or is this about managing bodies and players all the way through to what you hope will be a World Cup final?
No, I mean, we've obviously had a different start to the Six Nations with the PWR, so we've had to be smart around it, and this is the plan. So everyone's bought into it, and this team today will no doubt want to build pressure on the opposition. Can we do it for long periods of time will remain to be seen. I'm sure we're going to have to deal with some difficulty as well, some challenges. They'll throw some punches at us, and so I'm looking forward to the way we will respond.
There's been a lot of talk around the fly half shirt. Obviously, Zoe Harrison gets the nod today. Is this a big game for her?
Well, we've got outstanding 10s. Last year, I think, or 23, 24, I think we had probably some of the best playmakers. We want the best decision makers in 25.
And where does she fit? Sorry, where does she fit in that playmaker, decision maker for you?
Well, Zoe's got probably the best kicking game of the group. She's able to get length in a kick. And also we can go contest and long.
John, you spoke about the strength and depth at the fly-half position. You've got outstanding back rowers as well, and last year's captain, Marley Packer, misses out today. Looking ahead to World Cup, you've got some headaches in your hands there?
Sure have. You know, the back row is got a lot of competition, but they all play a little bit differently. You know, as you know, Marley wears her heart on the sleeve, and she'll put her head in the spokes and go forward for you. But we've got some really athletic girls and powerful girls, so it's important to see whether they can stand up as well before we go into the end of 25.
It's exciting.
Thank you. Sorry,
just in terms of this week, how much has been about Wales and how much has been about England?
I will play the match and they'll play the emotion, so let's see what goes.
The emotions are high. The choir is singing. John, we'll let you go off and do your final bits of preparation. Thank you for joining us here in the studio. Let's pick up, though, on the Marley Packer point. You know her well. She was your captain. How will she be responding to not even being in the match day 23 today?
Oh, she'll be hurting for sure, but this is how you get the best out of Marley. You know, Marley's journey's been a bumpy one for sure, and she'll be the first to say it, but every time her back's against the wall, every time the gauntlet's thrown down, she picks it up. So, yeah, she'll be relishing picking that up.
Marley Packer thrives in this situation, so it's either really smart management by John there to know his player and say, look, you're not guaranteed, you need to find an extra 5%, which we know Marley will.
Let's talk a bit more about the 10s. As you pointed out there's 3 of them in the squad, arguably, who can play. Is today an audition? Is this what it's all about?
I think it's really interesting. Look, John Mitchell described Zoe Harrison as his kick and fly half. However, last week he was talking about that he wanted to play a kicking game. We know Helena Rowland is more of a running game. All 3 of those 10s would probably start in different nations. The thing I'd like to see from John Mitchell is to use the right 10ers in the right game plan. At the moment, he feels like he's just kind of dotting them in, and I'm not sure that's fair on the girls, given their skill sets and their different skill sets.
And you've looked at some of the areas where you think England actually last week kind of personified how they want to play when they're at their best. We didn't see them at their best really throughout the second half, but there's areas you think where they did nail it.
Yeah, I mean, when they started off, they talked about playing on top of the opposition. You can see it here. So what it means by playing on top is playing right in the face of the opposition, really physical. And you can see how they're setting up just to carry. They're trying to shorten the defence, and they're trying to pull the outside defenders in and then get into the space. And when they did it well, they did it really well. This was the start of the game. Fantastic start for them. You can see it's a walking try for Venner on the edge.
That's when they're at their best, isn't it? When you've got the forwards ball carrying, getting over the gain line, putting pressure on the defence, and then being able to let their danger players out wide do the work.
Yeah. The other thing is about speed of ball, because these carries are so dominant and they march Italy back. Italy have not got time to get round the corner, so it's an easy move. You hear, see Bottom there, comes in, big carry, doesn't just let the first defender take it. Yeah. Nice offload, and then you've got Sarah Byrne in the next carry.
And what you've got there is you've got Cabella, you've got Bottom, and you've got Byrne. They've just come off the bench, so it's just firepower on firepower.
And the question I really wanted to ask him, and I didn't quite get in there, was just how close this might be to a World Cup final starting 15. You'd imagine the way she's progressed that Sadia Cabella is one of those players who you might almost build your back row around.
Yeah, she's been outstanding, hasn't she? And when she's on, like off the bench last week, she was phenomenal. But she's different to other back rowers. Her work rate, her intent, her athleticism. You see her here, her footwork comes off her right, beats defenders with the fend. She's just so dangerous with ball in hand.
She's also very different to Marley Packer. She's not the Jacqueline back row. Like Sharon said, she's a carrier. She wins battles. She's good with her hands. She wants footwork there. Footwork's of wingers that you don't normally see from your back row, who are much more direct and punchy. And here, nice little line. She engages, offload, 10-metre pass and puts her winger in.
Yeah, really interesting. She's got all the skills, just not maybe that contact bit at the moment. But she's a superstar, an absolute superstar.
And only 23.
Yeah.
23 years old, just coming into the kind of prime of her athletic and her sporting career. Okay, we've talked a lot about the rivalry between these two countries and a lot of the players who play with each other in the PWR. They know each other so well. 2 of them particularly well because they grew up together in the unders. In the under-16s for Wales, Jazz Joyce from St David's in Pembrokeshire representing Wales today, and Meg Jones from Cardiff playing for England. But they are still the very best of friends.
Is that okay, or is that still silly?
Silly. Silly beggars.
Gutted.
I'm fuming, actually.
Sums up you, actually.
Let me see yours.
No. Stop, then roll it.
Okay. Should we do a cheers?
Yeah. To start with.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for the coffee.
Welcome.
Thanks for buying it. First time ever. 11 years and it was the first coffee.
No way, I literally bought your coffee 10 minutes ago. So obviously in Cardiff, have you been?
Yeah, been good. Been back in the homeland. I love coming back.
Yeah.
It's home, innit? So I think, particularly when Six Nations is going on, England v Wales is always important to me because my mum's English as well.
Nice.
And obviously my dad's Welsh, so I get to represent the both of them at the same time. Obviously with my dad, I bought him a English top, and I gave it to him. He went,
Did you wear it?
No, he said, I'm not sure I can wear that down the pub. And I said, what do you mean? He said, it's got a rose on it. So he unstitched it. Anyway, he was like, oh, I'll wear that now after he unstitched it off.
So it was just a white top?
Yeah, it was just basically.
How have you been coping? What have you been doing to keep yourself smiling?
Dad passed away in August when we were out in Budapest. But obviously we were out having a good time.
Yeah.
And I just got a phone call and then I kind of just went MIA, then I just went home.
Yeah.
Not the best of year, but I've got trauma to kind of deal with my mum being an alcoholic and obviously my mum and dad passing away. I've become a patron for a living room, which essentially is a drug and alcohol substance abuse charity. And I also want to, I want to give my mum, leave a bit of a legacy for her.
literally gone out of your way to help other people, help yourself as well, and help people that are going to be in similar situations as your mother.
Yeah. We said it from the beginning, but it's just important for me to keep talking. And you've been amazing, obviously helping me with that. But
thanks.
Really, really good friend. Right, enough about me. How have you been getting on? Obviously, I've seen you've started using the double barrel name. Bit posh for you, isn't it?
No way. Yeah, obviously using double barreled for probably about a couple of games, but we're going to go back. But doesn't mean we're divorced. But we're going to go back. I think
disclaimer.
Just to let you know. A lot of hassle, I think, for commentators to say Joyce Butchers. Just going to go back to me, Joyce, Alicia Butchers. It's also a very long name to fit on the back of a jersey.
Yeah, on me! Yeah! 3, 2, 1,
So obviously you got your new coach in, Linny, Gloucester man.
Yeah.
Like, how much of an impact has he had already?
Yeah, he's absolutely massive. The positivity that he brings to the camp, brings to players is fantastic, and definitely something that we've needed in our environment and our culture. And he's just radiant positivity. The only way is up, I think, for us anyway. So I'm excited.
Signing off.
Work. Obviously playing at the Principality, I think it'll be the first time I've played of an international capacity, and I've always loved game days in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Like, you'll know what it's like. It's absolutely bouncing.
It's class. It's absolutely bouncing, to be fair.
And I think I'm going to enjoy that part of it, because I used to sing the national anthem, obviously the Welsh national anthem, every Friday at school. Like, it was like our Bible.
It is a good anthem.
It is a good anthem. I'll give it that. And to be honest, it G's me up, so...
Yeah, no. Brilliant, perfect, so don't sing it then.
Don't sing it.
Perfect. Gonna be a good
I think it makes it that little bit spicier that we know each other.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know how each other operate, you know how to kind of like get into each other's skin. Yeah, double pump give. Yeah, no, I know how it works.
How did we know each other?
I think the first time we met properly was obviously UK school games. We were playing for Wales.
You were literally playing for Wales.
I had the Welsh 3 feathers on.
You did.
And we won, didn't we?
That was actually really good.
We had a class team.
First time I won with Wales. We're the same person and
we are the same person, yeah. Well, cheers to that then.
Cheers.
Cheers to another 10 years.
Perfect.
And then that's it, I'm finished with the friendship after 10 years.
No, one year. Give it 1 year.
Okay, sweet.
Well, we've come to this sacrosanct position, a position that all the players know very well, that last moment when you're in the tunnel, doesn't matter what the stadium is, these are your final moments to gather your thoughts as a captain. I imagine you've said your piece and you're just focusing on your own mental game.
100%. I think it's that moment of reflection, isn't it? When you stood there now waiting to go on the field, the lights have gone out in the stadium, you're reflecting upon all the hard work, all the sacrifices that you've made, and what are you going to do on that field? Your almost mind is clear and you're thinking about your own job. And yeah, these are the best moments as well as a player, by the way, in the change room and then waiting to take that field.
Just hearing that conversation there with Jazz and Meg, such a special friendship, and Meg herself, what an ambassador she is for the sport.
Oh, absolutely phenomenal. You know, her story is really tough, isn't it? But the way she tells it, her bravery and the way she's conducted herself has been nothing but admirable all year. And I think what's lovely about rugby, her and Jazz played together under 16s, still the best of friends now. They're rivals today, but they can still go for coffee and enjoy each other's company and still be the best of mates. And that's what rugby's about.
Siwan, do you think we haven't seen quite the best of Jazz yet in 15s?
I don't think we have, you know. She's dangerous on that sevens field, isn't she? She's been phenomenal. Less space from full back. She hasn't got much space out there. We've seen her fire at moments, but not consistently.
We can see the Wales team coming up behind you in the tunnel here. England are there. Ellie Kildunn, of course, will be running out first for her 50th cap today. What a special moment that is. So as she enters into the Principality, let's hand you over to your commentary team today. Of course, it's Katie Daly-McLean, Philippa Toutier and Sarah Orchard.
There she is, the Harlequins fullback and World Player of the Year, Ellie Kildunn, leading out England on her 50th cap. A woman really changing the face of rugby, both on and off the field. So many in here with cowboy hats on. No doubt lots of chat of that, but here come the rest of the sides. Well, Wales coming out, of course, they've never won a Six Nations. They won the wooden spoon last year, but is the tide starting to turn under Sean Lynn? As you can tell, they've dimmed the lights. The atmosphere is building inside of the stadium. Record crowd in here for a standalone fixture for women's sport in Wales. Both sides just settling in, getting themselves ready for quite the occasion. Now, first up, of course, we will have the anthems, and we will start off with God Save the King.
And firstly, God Save the King. A nawr, hen wlad fy nhadau.
Fathers always delivers the passion of the Welsh nation to any occasion. But right then, let's focus on some rugby. First of all, we're going to take a look at Sean Lynn's Wales side. Two changes from the team that lost to Scotland last week in Edinburgh, and those changes do come in the forwards, with Sales, Gwen Lillian Perth starting at loosehead. Also, Gwen Crouch, she's coming in at lock after numerous injury setbacks. Good to see her back in a Welsh shirt. And in the backs, the 10-12 experiment of Lakey George and Kayleigh Powell continues to draw attention, whilst the heartbeat of this Welsh side, Bristol's Ciara Bevan, is there, of course, wearing 9. We're looking forward to her battle with her opposite number. Now, John Mitchell, of course, has made wholesale changes to this England side, 13 in total. In the forwards, it's easier for me to tell you that Zoe Allcroft and Maddie Fairnarty are the only 2 women who played in the same shirt last week. It also means that we have a completely new back line. That centre combination of Tatiana Hurd and Meg Jones are reunited after Jones missed England's autumn campaign injured. And Saracen Zoe Harrison, she is given the chance to impress wearing 10. Lastly, onto the benches, where you do need to keep an eye out for the debut of the 2-time Olympian Abby Burton, wearing 20, as she puts her hand into the mix for that precious back row spot ahead of the World Cup. Right then, there is the 50 capper getting ready to go. High time, though, that I say good afternoon to Philippa Tatiet. Now, this is quite the occasion in particular for Ellie Kildare, but also for Wales, and they really can't let this daunt them.
Absolutely, a record crowd, and just look at them out there. They turned out in their droves. It's up to those Welsh players to take every ounce of energy from them, feel the occasion, but you've also got to keep a lid on it, make sure they utilise it to the best.
And our referee today there, you can see Clara Munarini of Italy, just waiting for everyone to settle. The music is still blaring inside the stadium. Our DJ a little bit earlier was Cecilia Tuipolotti, one of the Welsh players, who's not playing at the moment because she's injured, so they have enjoyed the music. Right then, we're nearly there. Wales against England. A record and expectant Welsh crowd here, full of hope for this new Welsh era, whilst England, of course, they are focused on showing what it means to be a world #1 side and favourites for this fixture ahead of a home World Cup in just 5 months' time now. So an early time to see an attacking lineup then from Wales. Phillips. Tight to the front. Nice breakaway at the back. Neumann there just looking for work off her wing. Evans. Bevan. George. Lewis. George. Huge thumping hit coming in there by Talling. More forward power, this time coming in the form of Purse. Phillips. Jones. With a bit of a shuffle there by Jazz Joyce. She's got gas, we know that.
No.
Evans again.
Back England.
Bevan pushing out towards that far channel. And Wales are doing well here to stretch England.
Leon.
Bevan did well there. She wasn't expecting to get that clattering. And there's numbers here out wide. Waiting out on the left wing is Cox. She runs into Kildare, managed to get it back inside, but it's a white shirt waiting, down on the ball.
Use it. Use it.
Hunt eventually releases the ball, gets it away to Carson. And the ball has gone forward there from England, so a nice attacking scrum here for Wales and a great opening set.
Absolutely fantastic all from the kickoff. They kept the pressure on and they got that ball back in the 22. You see them here trying to spread that width using the winger. Desperately, look, she tries to keep it back inside. Unfortunately, it was an England pair of hands that got to it, but a good bit of phase play there, a nice variety in the carries.
A couple of England players down on the floor at the moment as well, receiving treatment. Sarah Byrne is down at the moment, as is Sadia Kabea, as we just see this little drop by Mackenzie Carson there. And England under pressure very early here, Katie Daly-McLean.
They are, and I think Wales have come to play, haven't they? What's really interesting is twice they've gone that edge to edge. They've gone into the 15 channel. It's almost like they've identified England on narrow in defence and they want to stretch them. And to be fair, they've done it really well.
There is Sean Lynn watching on. Famously come in now, checking himself out on the screen, giving himself a wave maybe. I doubt it. Oh, and there is Sean Lynn's family giving us a wave as well. I wonder how many Lynns are in the house watching on. Very proud they should be too. They'll have to get used to that.
We saw an early clip actually there of Sean Lynn's type of rugby that he wants to play, seeing Lisa Neumann coming off the wing and carrying centre field. He's big on making the backs work on the carries. He doesn't just want the forwards carrying throughout midfield. Look out for those wingers coming off and carrying.
Clear break, foot please. No, it's okay.
If you're new to the name Sean Lynn, of course, he has come in as Wales coach. He's made a name for himself in women's rugby circles by having great success with the Premiership women's rugby side Gloucester Hartbury, leading them to 3 titles in a row. The last one only a couple of weeks ago now. And he's come straight into the Welsh setup with high expectations. It's been a tough turnaround for them, but he seems to be adding that spark already.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's got a big emphasis on work rate as well, especially in defence. Last round, Wales missed 30 tackles, but they got away with it to a certain extent because the scramble defence was good. But I know this week in camp, they've really been working on those one-up hits, because against England, you cannot miss that many.
Bind!
Okay. Finally, is this going to get going? Good scrum from Wales. Early engagement from England. Bernardi thinks it's her ball.
Early push.
Just keeping everyone calm there. You can see Cara Bevan going, no, let's think about this opportunity. Let's not rush. Let's not harry. Here we go. Tap and go. Evans.
Back, England.
Bevan. Let's see another carry coming in there by Pearce towards the middle of the park. Bevan again. Evans offering herself. Happy to be involved after those 2 yellows that resulted in a red last week. Lewis. This is a nice set by Wales. Oh, straight over the top. Sadia Kabaya. That was too easy. That was like taking a lolly from a baby. Back it comes. Oh, mistake from Zoe Harrison. Pressure all over the park does very funny things to people.
It really does, doesn't it? I think when we watch that again, this is a Sadia Kabaya's turnover. It is far too easy for her. I think Kate Williams misses the space, doesn't she? And then here, she's just started to think about the kick before she's made a catch. It's a good ball by Mohan here. You can just see Zoe Harrison's eyes are looking where she wants that ball to go, rather than watching that ball into her hands.
Well, Zoe Harrison won't be happy with that. She has her own standards. John Mitchell has been speaking in the build-up to this fixture, saying that Zoe Harrison has the best kicking game of his options at 10. And there's a huge amount of focus right now in England and of who is the first choice fly half.
Bind! Set!
Another opportunity for Wales. England still haven't had an attack in this fixture. Great push. Evans goes. Oh, so close. Is Evans there? Not to be on that occasion. Back it goes. Try given. Wales score. What a moment for the home side. And it's a huge score for Jenny Scoble. It all came from the England mistake. Wales got the scrum and then they powered through.
Brilliant effort from Wales, and it came from this big drive here from Georgia Evans. As you mentioned, 2 yellow cards last round resulted in a red. She looks like she's out to prove a point to make up for that. And with carries like that, followed up by Jenny Scoble, brilliant work from the Welsh pack.
It was, you know, the scrum was always going to be interesting. Both teams came into this fixture with 100%, and it's providing a great platform for Wales today.
Bevan gets the extras, Scoble with the try, and England under pressure in the Six Nations for the first time.
It's amazing when you said about, you know, not being overpowered by the occasion. That phase of play was a group of players fully utilising the energy in this stadium. But now, how they defend this, how they organise is key.
Well, the narrative all this week has been about England, about how this was a stronger side since last week. They have got something to prove here. Here comes Williams. Back round the corner they go. This time it's through Pearce again. He's carried quite a few times today. Bevan. England still haven't had the ball for an attack. Bevan goes back to George.
Stop! Stop!
Harrison. Kilda. Trying to run round players. Manages to get rid of a couple of defenders. Hurd. Passed out wide. Jones. Byrne. Sarah Byrne has been doing that all season, but she's got herself in an awkward position there, and that is a great steal. Really strong.
Brilliant turnover there from the Welsh players. That was one area that John Mitchell wanted to try and tighten up after last round. Italy managed to turn them over a lot, but it was difficult to know because this is a completely different group of players, but Wales have still looked at that as an area that they can try and attack.
For England, though, they've got to sort their body management there. Sarah Byrne lands on her back. She makes it so easy for Scoville to steal that ball off her. England have to be better because when they get opportunities, Wales have come to play. They've got to make sure they keep the ball and go through the phases.
Wales have already made over 100 metres in this fixture with ball in hand. That is some impressive numbers. Oh, that is going to annoy. So frustrating. Unfortunate there for Wales, but still the momentum is with them, and England still yet to fire a shot.
Definitely, it's a good lineup, isn't it? Wales' set pieces operating well. Simple error, these happen. I think for England, though, there's no need to panic. Wales are always going to come with the energy and the passion. England just need to find their feet here now. They see it, just not the ball, not well looked after. And hopefully Wales don't come through those chances.
England's average win over Wales in the last 8 encounters has been by 46 points. And all the debate and the discussion, the build-up to this was, can Wales close the gap? Well, they've closed it. We know that much after nearly 10 minutes. Really good scrum from Wales, but England hold the ball. Hurd. Back it goes. Harrison, long pass out wide. Dow is waiting. Hack down the field. Into empty space. No one there. Neumann tracking back. Neumann keeps it in hand, not interested in kicking that. Straight out of play on the near side. Not sure if that's the exit that Wales wanted.
No, but it's a really good play by Abidal there, isn't it? It's a big pass by Zoe Harrison. But you see here, Neumann is under so much pressure. Abidal really sensible, knows where the touchline is, wraps her up and drives her over it.
England line out, their first real platform to do something. Taken cleanly in the air by Aldcroft. Now Feyanati! Maddie Feyanati hits back. Player of the match last week. And one shot, one kill. England are back on the scoreboard.
Too easy for England there. I think Wales will be so disappointed to concede something that was that easy for England to score. You look at here, smart line out, trick play, and it's kind of ball in two hands, one fend, and that's it. Is a clear run in. The Wales have worked so hard to get on the team sheet. It's a very easy score by England there.
It's just that one-up tackle, isn't it? Really frustrating. Coming from, unfortunately, Lisa Neumann getting pushed out into touch and not being able to exit. And like you say, one shot, one kill. That is the clinical, ruthless edge of this England team.
Feyanati there making her way back. The Exeter women, 16 carries last week. One of her first carries in this fixture, proving vital. Kilda. Hunt. Talling, Ward, Byrne. And look at right over the top there from Wales. You can see they're just trying to get everything they can at the breakdown. Harrison. Hunt. Byrne again. Talling on her shoulder. Hurd. Really driving, working the hard yards. Hunt thinks she can see a bit of space back there. Rode really nicely by Joyce. Hunt's going to be under pressure now. Manages to find Kildan. Jazz Joyce there was like a lioness hunting prey in the Sahara.
No hands now, no!
Ward. Harrison. Atkin Davis. Jones. Is there space out there? She's got so much of it. Meg Jones. What Welsh-born Meg Jones wearing the white of England. That was something special. She's back in an England shirt after she missed the WXV tournament last autumn. She's not missed a beat.
She's been in such great league form as well, and this is Meg Jones in her best. Open space, so balanced and running, ball in one hand tuck. She beats 3 defenders there, makes it look so easy. Great try.
It's that double lateral step, isn't it? That is so hard to do. You're running straight line and you change left or right, that's one thing, but to go a double left at the angle she does, that's immense flexibility and strength.
And also, just without change of pace.
Exactly. To still go around Jasmine Joyce, there are not many people in World Rugby that can do that.
2 visits into the 22, 2 tries for England. Meg Jones, a 2-time Olympian. And you can tell a bit of Sevens footwork coming in there. There was the Cowboys celebration you just saw at the back there. If you hear us talk about Cowboys, there is a little bit of group in the England setup that call themselves the Cowboys and the Cowgirls, and they do the little lasso dance. And that'll be why there's so many Stetsons out there in the crowd as well today. Hunt. Calm with the clearance, but there's no 2 ways about it. As much as the scoreline is in England's favour, the early passages of play were all about Wales. They just need to find that little bit of bite once again. Phillips. George. Powell. Evans.
Stepping back, Leon.
Bevan, George. Joyce. Straight into Dow.
Tackle
Dow
now!
holding
Tackle!
up, looking for support from Cabert. Referee says no. Big run round the corner coming in there by Fleming. Had a big match last week, Abby Fleming. One of the best performances we've seen in the Test arena from her as Harrison is forced to turn.
Back England, back,
Uses
back.
her right boot down this near side.
It's a really smart kick there from Claky George. Wales are going to have to put England under pressure if they're going to compete in this game. So kicks that turn, kicks that bounce, kicks that roll into space are going to build pressure on England. Really smart kick.
Yeah, I agree. And it also just gives an opportunity for Wales to reset, because you do feel the longer either team has the ball for, plays more in England's favour than in the Welsh favour.
Big take there by Abby Ward in the air.
Use it.
Taking a while to recycle out, eventually does. Harrison down the line, Hurd, Jones, pass out wide. First time to see Breach on the ball. And the chase is on. Joyce waits.
Leon, tackle me.
Jazz
Tackle!
Joyce does not want to be tackled. Bevan, head down from Lewis.
Use it. Don't play the 9, don't play 9.
Bevan again decides to go back for George. Pressure coming in by Hunt there. Remember, there's a lot of club teammates out there. Huge number of Gloucester Hartbury players on both sides of the ball as the high one goes into the air. Is that going to roll and roll? It's going to stop. It's going to have to be collected.
Tackle!
Jazz Joyce is having a great time with the England back 3 at the moment.
Use it.
Carrying on once again. Purse. Support being offered there by Phillips at the back. Also Scoble as well.
No, go.
Bevan. Bevan there with that calm clearance, but still offering England a platform. And you have to credit there a lot of that pressure coming from the England back 3.
Yeah, I think Jazz Joyce needs a bit more urgency there. That kick's rolling. I feel like she wanted that to go dead. It didn't look like it was ever going to, and got herself into a bit of pressure.
Harrison, Jones, Dow off her wing, still Abby Dow. Hunt, they've got numbers out wide, England, if they can get there. Breach is there, footwork. Loose ball, Wales got that one back.
Great tackle by Kayleigh Powell then. She knows that the England player would have the pace and I would have the strength and she could get the fend away. It's a little bit scrappy. First of all, lovely little interlinking play here. Look at this, ball back inside there. But Wales once again, scrambled defence, manages to save the day.
Atkin-Davis, huge long pass, that's gone over the top, but Hurd is there. Cabella. This is all about Sarah Byrne try. 3 tries now for England. No one at home there in that defensive line for Wales.
It's a lovely little tip, isn't it? England's set piece have been so good. That's probably the first one we've seen go a little bit wayward there with the overthrow. But it bounces back into England's side. It's a good pick-up by Tatiana Hurd. And then we've just seen that physical dominance of England's carry. One lovely little soft hands by Maddie Fainarty there, and it's an easy walk-in.
Yeah, you could just see Claykie George was worried about the threat out wide, and she sort of started pulling away from the inside forwards that created that gap then on the tip-on. You just see the spacing here between Kayleigh and Claykie just got a little bit too big. That's just down to how quickly England play. The ball to the ground, back up, and in someone else's hands is just insane.
Sarah Byrne scoring her 24th try for England. Been to a couple of Rugby World Cups now. Missed the last 6 Nations with a knee injury. But she has been absolutely flying in the league this season. Restart then from Wales, who got the opening score in this fixture. Just faded away in the last 10 minutes. Jazz Joyce just letting the ball go past her.
These are going to be kicks as well from that kickoff that Wales have got to be better at. At the moment, they're just kicking the ball to England. England are sending it long, and they're winning that territory battle. I think, for me, Wales need to change that up. Go to compete. Go give yourself a bit of a contest. Make it a bit harder for England.
Thank you.
Karis Phillips, former Wales captain herself, originally from Warrington, goes short towards the front. But our referee says, no, that one's not straight.
Not straight. Has to be straight. Into the 5. Not straight.
More frustration there from Wales. They were actually pretty good at the line out last week, but little moments like that in that first exchange just costing them as Karis just catches herself on the big screen there. Mark Atkin-Davis.
Let's go.
Getting ready.
Ladies, please set the line up with my assistant.
Short numbers in the line-out. Aldcroft, Hunt. Harrison finds Hurd, who's happy to be up front, but that one is forward and it's offside. Wales get the ball back. Claykie George stepping up. Learned this week that Claykie George actually played a little bit of cricket for Wales under-19s, a real sportswoman. She can do everything.
Yeah, very skillful, very talented player. One of the biggest boots in the Premiership Women's Rugby League as well, which certainly Wales are going to look to utilise in this game. Get some territory, get playing the rugby in the right areas of the field.
Taken by Lewis, George, Powell, Evans again, who's hanging out in that back line. Lewis again. Still Beth Ann Lewis, another Gloucester Rugby player. Joyce.
Play on.
Joyce goes again. She can do that because she released the ball. Middle of the park, this time Fleming.
No hands now, no hands.
Powell there, you could just see her standing in that first receiver position. She's been playing fly half at Harlequins this season. There she goes again, Jones. Hannah Jones being wrestled to the ground there. George on that far side, numbers out wide. Neumann. But the ball has been lost forward, and they'll restart with an English scrum. Now, The Welsh handling is very good. They're just not really penetrating and getting over that gain line.
No, and I do feel after multiple phases, it looks like England are getting even more confident with their defensive line speed, and they're really pushing up hard. There may be an opportunity for Kayleigh Powell to just sort of put a grubber low across the ground, so kick the ball low and in behind. Ellie Kildunn is one of the best fielders in the back three out there, but I just think Wales need to mix up that picture.
I totally agree with you there, Phil, as well. I think, like you say, as Wales go through the phases, England look more comfortable, Wales look less comfortable, and I think some of that is because they're not winning the collisions and their speed of ball is getting slower. It's making it's easier for England to get round the corner, off the line, and go pressure Wales's handling.
You can see there, 30 carries for Wales, but only 1 line break, while less for England, and they are busting through 5 times.
England, please don't eat and chase. Don't eat and chase, hold your weight. Wait, don't move it across. Not stepping at the side.
Get ready to go again.
Go ahead, push straight both sides.
Mitchell watching on. Keeping a close eye on the competition between Natasha Hunt, the England scrum half, on your screen at the moment.
Crouch!
The Welsh number 9 is Kira Bevan. They'll have clashed many times at club level this season.
Set!
Hunt winning her 77th cap today. Ball pops out. Hurd waiting. Jones again. The lines she runs.
Backwards.
Hurd with the distribution. Aldcroft, former World Player of the Year, now England captain, and she's off and she's galloping away. Neumann stops her, but the support is also there. Ward.
Back.
Hunt. Atkin-Davis. Cabella. Harrison. Little juggle from Kildunn. Nice over the top to Dow. Back inside to Breach. That was so well worked by England. That was very nice indeed. But we are going to come back for a forward pass.
I think that's harsh. I mean, I know we're quite a way away and up high, but it's a lovely little pass. I'm not convinced. But I think Ellie Kildunn's late movement into the line was lovely there. The interlink. It's that lateral movement, isn't she, there? I'm not sure that's forward, you know.
Yeah, I do think that's quite a harsh call, that one.
We can say it when you say it, Phil.
No, I do genuinely. I do think that's a harsh call, that one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Ellie Kildunn on the occasion of her 50th cap. She's doing some good work out there, but that one's been scrubbed out.
Yeah, we were on the same line, me and my assistant. So
let's have a look at this original break by Zoe Aldcroft, which she was given the England captaincy in January, and it suits her.
She does, and this is what Zoe's so good at. She doesn't take the first tackle. It's the leg drive, it's the fend, it's the roll. She looks very, very comfortable in open space, and I've been impressed with this bit of her game. She drops a height. It's Abby Fleming there. She's a bit high, isn't she? She just gets rolled off. But Zoe Aldcroft in open space wants to keep the ball alive. England then flood through. You know, Mo Hunt's in there, Abby Ward's in there. It's a really nice bit of rugby by England.
That was actually Zoe Aldcroft's first carry, and she made 29 metres. Stunning. Right, there is a change in the front row. Mackenzie Carson has had to go off. We'll try and get you the information on that when we have it. But it means Hannah Bottoman is on.
Bind!
It's a full substitution. We've been told there's no HIA. A lot of rugby to come for Bottoman, and all of a sudden that England scrum has come to life. Harrison, Jones, Kildunn, her mate on her shoulder, Breach. Breach has done well to try and make sure that one didn't get too close to the whitewash. Back it comes again, Feyanati. That one is a second for Feyanati. It's a fourth for England, and some of these tries that England are scoring are too easy.
They are, and I think when we watch that back, look, England's handling was slick there, but Hannah Jones comes out of that line far too early for me. I think when we watch the replay, it's a really dominant scrum by England there. Hannah Bowman certainly come on, made a difference. England looks so comfortable here, but we see the balls with Hannah Jones there, just as bought out. Then you see Kaylee Powell has to try and overchase. And after that, it's all, I mean, Lisa Neumann does such a good job of working from her other wing to offer the cover. But the system's broken, and now it's just about individual work rate to try and solve a problem.
It's that scramble D again, isn't it? Which you can commend it, but then you've also got to ask, why were you scrambling? What happened in the first place that caused that sort of defensive breakdown?
And because England want to go wide here, look, we're going to see Maddie Fainarty. You're not going to stop her from that distance, especially not two halfbacks. No offence to halfbacks.
But well, you were one.
Yeah, I was. And that
So
probably would have happened to me as well. England are going to go to those wide channels, so actually just let them go there. Like, the wingers are doing a really good job. We know that's a strength of Wales, but go there together, not as ones and twos.
Hunt. Well, England are sucking up these restarts from Wales, and they just keep pushing them back. John Mitchell will be pleased with how this England performance has gone after the opening passage of play. Wales would just be wondering how they break this Groundhog Day, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. They started so well, didn't they? And look, there's a long way to go in this game, but at the moment, it's just those tiny little lapses of concentration, those one-up tackles, and England, like we said before, how clinical they are. Moments like that is not going to help Wales' cause.
Line up to scrum. Scrum call.
England then opting for the scrum once again. Sean Lynn getting a few messages down onto the pitch. Still got 12 minutes to go then.
Walker on the left, thank you.
Until we get to the half-time whistle for Wales as they get ready to pack down again. I should say Jenny Scoble, who's on the far side of your screen in that Welsh scrum. It was her birthday yesterday. She went over for that opening try for Wales.
Set!
Huge push from England in that scrum. Fainarty still holding. The referee wouldn't give the penalty, though. Hunt, Harrison, Kildunn. Dow's hanging out, but she's quite isolated. There's no one else with her, and it's gone forward on the floor. So Wales have got to face another scrum, but this time they will have the ball.
Okay, I changed my side. Yeah.
They're offside of the scrum. They're off real early.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Okay. I didn't see any clear infringement, but yeah.
Two up here, isn't it? And then Georgia Evans coming in. Georgia Evans there, number 8, half covered in the paint from the field. I would say look out for her, but you don't need to. She is everywhere at the moment. She has been one of the hardest working players for Wales. The amount of collisions she's been involved in. Fantastic player.
Right, they get ready to go down again. It has been 10 years now since Wales last beat England. That was in the Six Nations back in 2015.
Crouch!
England at the time were freshly crowned world champions. And Wales absolutely came out of the blocks down in Swansea. Blew them off the park. Well, that was the last occasion, but that's a strong penalty for Wales. Exactly what they needed to build a bit of confidence. Slaps on the back there for the Welsh front row.
Yeah, absolutely. Big, long kick now from Claykie George. Try and push them down into the corner.
Claykie George making good ground there.
Thank you. Perfect.
Phillips. There's a lot of movement in that line-out from Wales. Eventually they do come away with it. It was Crabb who took.
Tackle now!
Bevan on the ball again. Pearce popped off this time to Beth Ann Lewis.
Back. Use it!
Bevan, George, Powell, Jones. Nice looped out ball. Neumann does well to track back inside, but that's a big tackle from Meg Jones. All of a sudden, Wales find themselves back on the halfway line. Option from Kira Bevan, but it's gone straight out of play.
It was the right decision, though, because Wales were going backwards at a rate of knots, hadn't they? England were definitely winning that momentum battle. You see it here. Wales are just a bit deep for me there. England looks so comfortable coming to get them, and it's not a bad idea for the looped pass, but the problem is it allows defences times to get set. Neumann does the right thing to come back inside off our wing, but it's a really good dominant tackle by Jones.
Harrison, Hurd always taking a couple of Wales players with her each time she goes into contact. Bottoman, Harrison again, Aldcroft again! How many times now? Breach, but it's gone forward. But Zoe Aldcroft on that lovely run, look at this.
It's the change of direction, isn't it? The rest of the England team sort of drifting on that outside arc, and you just need one line, one short, hard line to cut against. It's a really good tackle, actually, by Hinckley and Burst. It was really hard to make that.
That's her second as well in the 15-metre channel. You've got your front row prop making two big cover tackles in opposite 15s.
Well, the crowd are trying to get behind the home side at the moment. Pitches of Wales going up all around them. Straight down on this near side. Clara Minarani very happy to try and reset that one.
Front rows, front rows.
She is going to have a word with both of them, but they're not listening.
More stability before the ball. Feet under your body, hold your weight. Thank you.
You've both captained your country. Did the front rows ever listen to you?
Only when you tell them what time dinner is.
No, I used to tell them to get lower, hit harder. That was my really helpful scrum chat.
Very good. There's some truth in there.
Graham Smith used to say it a lot, so I just took it from him.
Bind! Set! Second
Penalty.
Push.
An early push there from England. And Wales get a vital penalty to try and gain some territory.
No, penalty. Second time.
Good composure there from the Welsh forward pack. Feeling that they've got that little bit of dominance there. They can just let England come at them and get that early engagement.
Oh, but a mistake here gives England back the ball.
Stop! Retreat!
Didn't go out of place. They can't have the line out. England slam it back down the field, and it ends up still a Welsh line out, but not where they want it.
No, absolutely. Really good fielding there from Ellie Kildunn. She had a very acute angle to work with, but managed to push Welsh team right back.
Interesting that England have given away 4 penalties in this fixture. Wales haven't given away a penalty yet. And England, that's not a bad penalty count for a first half, but they did give away 14 last week, which was the worst in the Six Nations from round 1.
Fire it!
Fire it! Yeah.
Powell. Round the corner again from Fleming. George. There is a bit of space back there. She's managed to put it between the 2 players. Kildunn is tracking. Gathers nicely. She's got players around her, and she decides to go through them.
Run away!
Ward. Bristol co-captain.
Take him back.
Harrison.
Stop in front!
Under a bit of pressure there. Bouncing ball, someone's got to put a name on it. Nearly Meg Jones, but Neumann saves the Welsh bacon.
Balls available. Your team. Play on.
The pressure is just beginning to pile down on Wales. You've got advantage now to the women in red. Bevan. Powell. Bevan. Phillips. Lewis. Bevan. Middle of the field again. Purse on the ball. George comes out towards Jones. Joyce. Williams manages to push wide to Cox. Bevan. This time we get to see Gwen Crabb on the ball. This is a lot of phases for Wales to work through, and it ends in a Welsh penalty for Wales rolling on the floor.
Yeah, player just trying to buy a little bit of time there for the rest of the team to get in and get over that ball. Karis Phillips shaking her head there, not agreeing.
I can't lip read, but I don't think she agreed at all.
Okay, here we go. So you're allowed one movement to present the ball. Yeah, you see how she sort of rolls over. I mean, there's an element of momentum, which referees will use as sort of a bit of mitigation, so to speak, but that was a bit of a clear roll.
Let's go. Come here. Here. Thank you.
Bristol's Atkin Davis, ball in. Harrison. Bernati. Oh, that was a little knock-on at the back there by Hunt.
Thank you.
So we get to see a Welsh gun. This was it just here. You see that bump that just came in. That's why it's always worth trying to hit her up.
Yeah, absolutely. And look who it was, Georgia Evans, once again. Her work rate this half has been absolutely fantastic. And that would have been a message from their coach, Sean Lynn. You've got to go for those little moments, those little edges, that counter-ruck, that extra chase in defence. Just try and force some small errors.
Here we are. Let's go, ladies. Thank you. No problem.
Well, this fixture last year was played at Ashton Gate. That's Bristol's home ground. It finished England 46, Wales 10. It's the game where Wales really loaded the bench. Had a bit of a fight back in the closing passages of play. Minute left of the half. Wales with the ball. They can split their backs in either direction. Scrum right in the middle.
Music.
Evans, Bevan.
Straight out.
Well, Kira Bevan probably wants to forget those last couple of kicks.
Ah, that's frustrating, really frustrating. You got less than a minute left on the clock. That was a moment where Wales could have just got some ascendancy, some flow, some confidence going into that half-time chat. Instead, they're under pressure again.
20 seconds. What will England do with it? Pop down. Harrison, Cabella.
Thank you.
Hunt, Talling. Byrne. Bottoman over the top as well. Hunt back to Atkin Davis, Harrison. Loose on the floor. Gathered in the end by Breach. She gives to Cabella.
Away, no hands!
Atkin Davis can't take that one. Referee says it has gone forward. And that will be the half after Wales came out the blocks absolutely firing. All of a sudden, England came to life for this next 30 minutes, and they ran away with it. They've scored 4 tries, and a half-time score then. Wales 7, England 26. They make their way down the tunnel. Lots to chat about between those sides, and there is a little bit of a brains trust deciding what happens next.
So in spite of a really strong start from Sean Lynn's women here at the Principality Stadium, England have asserted their dominance and look to be very much in control of this game. And let's have a quick look at the stats. Actually, with a bit more possession, Wales on 55%. England making a lot more tackles than them. Of course, Wales last week missed a lot of tackles against Scotland. 11 in the first half to England's 7, and the 424 metres made by England show some impressive running, some impressive carries from their players that have led to this dominant scoreline, and winning a few more turnovers as well. Sadia Kabea, of course, with one of those, which led to, of course, that first Wales try, actually, in terms of a mistake there coming from Zoe Harrison. But Wales, you'd think in that second half, really, it's going to be a damage limitation exercise for them, because they will want to be getting closer on the scoreboard. Simon Middleton, of course, you know only too well that, of course, Wales have had such a run, haven't they, of matches against England where they've failed to come out on top. It's been 10 years, Simon. You almost could have taken this job. What would you be saying if you're in that dressing room right now?
I think very much more of the same in terms of just trying to tighten the game up. They've just got to shorten the game up a little bit when they do get the ball. You know, the first 8 minutes was a real blueprint of how Wales wanted to play the game. But I think what England have done really well is they've played the field really smart. You can see why he's picked Zoe Harrison. She's kicked possession, but also the back three have kicked really well as well.
Is this the way you think, John Mitchell, the way we've seen England play today so far, Katie, is this the way John wants to take this team forwards? Are we seeing more of his identity here?
Yeah, I think so. I think the previous England we'd seen where they were free-flowing and threw the ball around, this is more of a World Cup side, isn't it? It's a bit more pragmatic. It's about playing your territory, playing your position, like you say, utilising Zoe Harrison's kicking game. I thought Abby Dow has been really smart. She's either ran when it's on to run, but then when it's on to kick, she's sent it and she's pressurised.
OK, let's go back to the positives for Wales, because it was such a great start. They really came out the traps, didn't they? And that early pressure, they actually made it count. So many times teams get into the red zone, don't they? They don't take anything away, and they did exactly what you want them to do from a Welsh perspective.
100%. From the off, wasn't it? It was exactly the same as last week up in Scotland. The start, the first 5-6 minutes was exceptional. Again, the ball to the edge early, like Sean's play, putting pressure on England. Penalty, their DNA, which we spoke about before the game, free kick. But then in 5 metres out, you see the forwards getting through the phases, and Sadia Kabea doing exactly what we said she doesn't do at the start of the show. But then, look, Zoe just takes her eye off the ball, doesn't she, and gives it an opportunity.
Great pressure.
Yeah, she gets spooked, doesn't it? Kate Williams, straight at her.
Yeah. And then this is exactly that game we talked about. You know, great scrum, but then they drop into a short pick and go game. Yeah. Really dynamic. And this is where they've just got to be patient and they get the rewards.
I think the big thing is patience, isn't it? When you get these opportunities, you're going to have to take them, because England aren't going to give you 5, 6, 7 entries like Scotland did. You get 1 or 2, you've got to be able to take the points.
Don't worry, we've paid our electricity bill. The lights have gone off here in the Principality Stadium because the crowd are about to be entertained by the Stickmen project. Now, these guys are faceless. They wear kind of neon and masks, and nobody knows what they actually look like. They're the kind of Banksy of the music world. I don't know why I'm telling you this, Katie. You know this already. You're a big Stickmen project fan. You are as well, are you, Simon? You're looking at
this is exactly my type of stuff.
Well, they are Welsh, would you believe? Siwan, are you a fan of the Stickmen project?
I'm a huge fan.
Shall we all enjoy them for a minute or so?
100%. I saw them rehearse, and honestly, Gabby, it was one of the best things I've ever seen.
OK, let's sit back and relax and enjoy a bit of the Stickman project. Pretty impressive. They've got LED costumes there, and they have this incredible video drum kit as well. 300 million streams worldwide, and their videos have had 1 billion views on social media. So they are doing something right, the Stickmen project, and they're entertaining this crowd here today. But this crowd here today was so excited by that start they saw from their women. Unfortunately, it didn't take long, did it, for England to get back into this. And Katie, it was such a shame that Maddie Fionati's try came off really poor Welsh play.
It was, you know, you see it here. England moved the ball to the edge, and it's really smart by Abby Down. She just kicks long. She finds a space. The ball rolls. Lisa Neumann, I think she's been very good defensively then, but goes towards the touchline, and then England just wrap her up, and they basically throw her into touch from that moment, don't they?
Put boot to ball there.
Yeah.
You look up, there's 4 English players, 4 white shirts in front of you.
But this is probably where the moment comes from. It's maul defence, and it's a bad missed tackle. It's so soft after Wales had worked so hard. Maddie Fearn-Hardy had ball in both hands, and she literally just exploits with a big fend.
Yeah, and it's the first bit of territory England have had, isn't it? So, you know, it's a real blow to Wales's confidence, I think that.
Yeah, and then the third try of the match, which was Meg Jones, came off a poor kick chase, didn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Poor kick chase from Wales, allowing England to get to the edge. You see here, Jazz Joyce kicking the ball back. It's easily fielded here by England. Kildunn getting hands on the ball, doing what she does best and beating the first up defender. I think it's Hannah Jones she beats. They get to an edge. Look at the front football now. Wales have to scramble back. They're not prepared for this.
But what England have done really well, you see the disconnect in the Welsh defence, but it's the width that England are playing with. This stretch Wales to come out the back. Lark Akintacy is looking for a tip, and it's the bouncing ball, isn't it? It kills defences.
But how switched on is Meg Jones? Yeah. You know, she absolutely thrives on this stuff. So she picks up a loose ball, double step, great finish.
Yeah, you don't want the ball getting into Meg Jones's hands in a moment like that, do you? You know she's going to finish it, and she's obviously here, the Cardiff-born rugby player who's come home in many ways, but that red rose is where she feels most comfortable, and she excels time and time again. Let's take a pause on the tries for a second, because we're going to hear from the woman who's been charged with sorting a lot of stuff out here with the Welsh women's rugby setup. There were problems last year, and Belinda Moore has come in as the interim head of Welsh women's rugby. So let's find out what the plans are for the future with Sonia McLaughlin.
And she's had a big role today, actually, in making sure that there were over 20,000 people here today to enjoy this. How proud right now, first of all, are you of this occasion for the women's game?
Fantastic. We just announced a crowd of 21,186 people here, which is twice the crowd we had last year. So it's amazing. And to play the #1 team in the world, you know, it's a pretty special day. So yeah, really buzzing.
I know you haven't been in post very long, but how big a job do you think you've got here, given that, you know, Wales 4 tries already they've conceded against the #1 team in the world?
Look, there's a lot to do. You know, we all know the history of the challenges down in Wales for the last few years. But the great thing is there's a really clear blueprint from the reviews for us to follow and for us to start to move things forward. And that includes the appointment of Sean as head coach.
And how much will you be working sort of hand in glove with Sean Lynn?
Massively so. We talk a lot. We're doing a lot of things together. A lot about the change in the culture, the change in the way we do things has all been done together. You know, and I walked across with the team today, which was really, really special. So yeah, very much working together to bring the team together.
And what do you think that you can put in place at the minute that might not benefit this team for this next World Cup, but might actually pay dividends in the next one?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is around culture. You know, Sean's talked a lot this week around family, and that's really important to him. So I think a lot of this is about getting that pride in pulling the jersey on again and having days like this at the Principality.
It's a fabulous occasion. Well done to you, Belinda.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Well, the Stickman project goes on, and they've reverted to the Welsh flag, and an absolute crowd pleaser in here. I think you call that an absolute banger. There's plenty more sport coming your way on the BBC. You can watch Snowboard and Freestyle Championship later at 6:25 on BBC iPlayer. Tomorrow afternoon at 2:45 you can start the build-up to Italy-Ireland live on iPlayer and BBC Northern Ireland. On BBC Sounds you can listen to the story of rugby star Gavin Henson. He was everywhere, wasn't he? And then he wasn't. Gareth Rhys-Owen wants to speak to him about all of it. But what if he doesn't want to be found? Find out in that one. And catch the Rugby Union Weekly with Sarah Orchard, Chris Jones, award-winning Chris Jones this week, and Ugo Monia and the rest of the gang. There we go, the crowd showing their appreciation for the Stickman project. It should mean, there it is, the lights come up, and I think we can have a little look at those tries we haven't seen just yet, because if there was one thing that you kind of noticed in that first half, we saw pretty much the tries coming from all facets of England's game, didn't we? And Sarah Byrne's try was the power game from England.
It was. It's where they sit probably the most comfortable. I think it's an overthrow. It's one of the few errors we've seen. Tatiana Hurd, smart, and then England just fall into pattern, don't they? Dominance, physicality, getting in behind. And to be honest, you've got riches, haven't you? It's a lovely soft hand from Maddie Fearn-Hardy.
It's great hands, isn't it? Tatiana Hurd does so well, doesn't she, to gather that ball, settle down the momentum. You see Sadia Kabea doing what she does best, getting over the gain line, exactly like we spoke about earlier. But look at her engage the defenders. I think it's Kaylee Powell. She sees, bites on her, the second defender, puts Byrne over.
Wales have got to do better there, though.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a 50-50 to be won there right at the start of it. Tatiana Hurd wins it. And, one of the things that Sean's talked about, is the TNT, the take no talent stuff, which is about winning those balls, and they haven't won it and they've paid the price.
We talked about Marley Packer ahead of the match today, not in the match day 23 for John Mitchell, but still part of his plans, he says. Let's hear from her now. The former England captain is with Sonia.
I feel I should slightly curtsy in front of last year's Six Nations winning captain Marley Packer. Look, it took England a little while, didn't it, in that first half to go through the gears. What's John Mitchell been saying to his team in the dressing room?
I think we knew that Wales were going to come out. They bring all the passion in playing here. The stadium is absolutely incredible. And I think, the leaders, the game day drivers will be talking about our defence, but then also how we want to attack the game. Like, we want to find grass with our kicks, and then also just making sure that the close quarter contact, that we're winning it and we're making fast ball and keeping on top.
Is it a little bit frustrating for you, Marley? I mean, I know what a warrior you are, that this is such a huge occasion. You were out on the pitch warming up, weren't you? That you're not involved today.
Yeah, obviously want to be involved in all these occasions. The fans are epic today, but look, the team that are out there putting in an absolutely stern job in one that I just watch it from the sideline, and hopefully I'll be back in the squad next week, but just support them however I can this last week in making sure that we prep the team the best we could.
Of course you do. Well done to you. Thank you, Marley.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm a champion.
Great touch. Evans goes. Oh, so close. Try given. Wales score. Fayanati. One shot, one kill. England are back on the scoreboard. What a run by the Welsh-born Meg Jones. Back it comes again, Fayanati. It's a force for England.
Yeah, Maddie Fayanati with the second of her tries there. We've been through the tries and what Wales have done right, what they could have done better. What do you want to see in the second half from Sean Lynn's women?
I think they've just got to stay switched on a little bit longer, like those 50-50 balls that Simon spoke about. They've got to be hungry and get on them, and that's what he'll be speaking about in the change room. But they started so well. The execution, moving the ball, the go forward. It was a brilliant start, more of that.
And there was a drop-off last week from England in the second half. John Mitchell will want more in this next 40.
100%. This is a big bit of time for England. Can you capitalise on what you've done? Can you do what you've been doing in the first half?
Katie, get yourself up to the commentary box, where you, of course, will be alongside Philippa Toutier and Sarah Orchard for this second half.
Team's out. Team talk's done. Everyone just calming themselves inside the stadium. Everyone's recovering after seeing the Stickman project. We enjoyed it, didn't we, Philippa?
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. Something like that. It's another element that they're bringing into the women's game, and the fans thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, England certainly enjoyed that first half. I think those two enjoyed it as well. I don't want the party to stop. Don't worry, 40 minutes of rugby still to come. How much longer is Zoe Harrison going to be given on the pitch? Holly Aitchison and Helena Rowland on the bench for England. Both very keen to fill in where they can. Saracens women waiting to be given the orders, winning her 55th cap today. Playing just a few weeks ago for Saracens in that PWR final. In a white shirt now, trying to take her shot.
Access!
Bevan, back to George. Huge pressure coming in there by Jones and Hunt. But Wales do manage to send the ball away. Kildunn just scans the horizon before deciding to leave it. Cords can do this job.
Yeah, it really was a decent exit kick there from Blakey George, like you say, under a load of pressure there. Got a good bit of distance on that.
Akin Davis, but not straight.
Same as before. Not straight. Good contest.
Well, we had quite a few of them from Wales in the first half, but it's England's turn now. And you can just see there was a Welsh hand in there.
By red.
And that's why the ball went awry.
Knock on by red. TMO check.
So England do get away with that one.
Knocked on by red, white scrum.
Referee couldn't quite see that red hand being in there. So you can see Kelsey Jones is now on for Wales, also changed there at tight head as well. Donna Rose onto the field. You can see there wearing that scrum cap. Donna Rose has been talking this week about her little girl Margot, who was born earlier this year. Coming back from a neck injury, how much she really wanted to fight back into that Welsh shirt now that Margot is in her life. Well, that one's collapsed straight down.
Sideways.
And that will be a bit of a concern for Wales with a couple of new front rowers in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, that's going to be one of the main messages that Donna Rose and Kelsey Jones would have had as they came on, try and shore up that scrum. Just collapsing down there on Donna Rose's side, but look, it's a big ask, that front row from England. Very experienced, very strong.
Aldcroft, Fernarti, Cabella. Well, there's a bobbling around ball there, it's juggling everywhere. Beth Ann Lewis. Lakey George out wide then to Jones. Joyce decides to use Cox. She loses the ball in the contact there.
Play on the ribs, play on.
So England get the ball back, but they've lost a little bit of ground. Tatiana Hurd. Here's a foot chase that's on now. Referee is letting things play. The woman on the ball is Neumann, and good arrival by Peirce. Lewis now. What a second half start this would be for Wales if they can get something from this. Evans. Bevan. Kelsey Jones.
No.
It's not the quickest ball, but Peirce is on it. Lots of Welsh players offering. Skipper is there, finds Powell. Been playing fly half for Harlequins this season, happy to wear the 12 shirt. Bevan again. Nice pop off there to Kelsey Jones, who is pushed back. Kelsey Jones has fought her way back from all kinds of injuries to be back here in World Cup year. Still pushing Flaky George with the pass out wide. There was all kinds of hands on that. Did it come off an English hand or a Welsh hand? We're watching the flag, and it will be an England put-in.
So this is where the turnover happens. It's a slip ball that's kicked through. Lisa Neumann does so well here to stay in the fight. Gets that ball, constantly looking where is the support. And as much as the Welsh players are flooding through, potentially not all the speedsters that you wanted to be hitting that line, hitting those shoulders.
Hunt. Bernardi again, regular first choice there, just to truck that one up.
Stop in front.
Harrison.
Hold on.
She gets that one away, and England remove themselves from that 22 as quick as they can. John Mitchell just taking a drink. Seems very calm at the moment. Enjoyed his birthday last week up in York. There's a little bit of treatment going on to one of the England players, hence just the pause in play. And it is Fernarti there. Now, Maddie Fernarti's family are majority down in New Zealand, but we do know that they stay up late at night to watch her play. She was nominated for World Breakthrough Player of the Year last year. I think Sean Lynn would like a few of his players to start getting into those nominations, the more impact that he has on this squad. This was the impact moment. There's a bit of New Zealand on New Zealand there, with it being a
water off, please.
Beth Ann Lewis that she ran into. Referee and TMO all happy, and Fernarti will continue. Jones. Oh, big hand in there. England will be happy with those poaching efforts. Scuttering kick from Hunt. Joyce.
Thank you.
There's a bouncing ball there. Gathered by Harrison, who does well under huge pressure. Byrne.
Lost.
That's been slowed down by Wales, but still ends up an England ball.
9.
Nice option by Kildunn. She could see the space there. Neumann. Jones and Kildunn teaming up to slow down that ball.
Use it.
George.
In front, stop.
And England win the territory battle.
The little kicks in behind, the ones from Mohun, that one from Ellie Kildunn, I think have been really good today. You know, we questioned some of their kick to contest game. You see it here, it's just really good identification of space and really good execution. You're turning defenders. You've got on-rushing England players aligned, connected to go make tackles. Just easy territory gains.
Allcroft takes the ball again. Here comes the Loughborough Lightning flanker and Cabella. Came off the bench last week. Real boil of energy. But it's a Welsh ball on this occasion.
Use it.
Harrison finds herself in the right place. Feeds Kildunn.
Tackle! Tackle now!
Hunt. Aldcroft. Nice soft hands there to Talling. Hunt again. Pushing down the line. Back inside to Byrne, who can see the gap, and she still goes. Dow. Abby Dow, first time she's playing after she broke her hand earlier this year. Did that one at club level. Ward popped off to Bristol teammate Bottoman, back to Ward again. Hurd. And this is still alive from England. Huge pass out wide to Kildunn! She wants to get it closer, she does. And that is the pick of the tries so far from England. And a try for Ellie Kildunn on her 50th.
It was so well worked for England there. The approach work was perfect in terms of earning that right to play wide. The carry there, we're not going to go all the way back, but the hard work was done, and here just a skillful bit of hands. Great ball by Zoe Harrison. But prior to that, the work of Cabella, Bottoman, the lines they ran, the physicality, the gain line. Really lovely approach work from England.
Yeah, and a bit of a mixed decision-making in defence there. You saw Kate Williams shooting up out of the line, and then other players were sort of giving that give defence, trying to shepherd the player out into the wide channel. So just need a little bit clearer communication between the Welsh players. What type of defensive structure are they trying to employ in that area?
And I think on that, Phil, is if you're going to go out the line, you've got to stop the ball, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got to affect the situation. You've got to do something.
If you're not going to stay connected to your teammates, you've got to, like you say, go do something.
Did we get the cowboy dance? Did I miss it?
I don't think she did it.
She did do it, I'm told. I've been told she did. I must have missed it, but there was the little lasso for the eagle-eyed amongst you.
I'm surprised you missed it, given what a fan you are.
Then Nell Metcalf is onto the field now. Jazz Joyce takes a seat. There is Metcalf. Long brown ponytail flying out behind her.
Back!
Evans George.
Advantage. 8.
Calm hands out wide. Cox back inside then to Hannah Jones. It's their third Six Nations now as the Wales captain, as Rose just builds up a bit of a head of steam, makes a few good meters. Bevans wants to go quickly, and she does. Good play there by the scrum half, but she needs support to arrive. Rose again. Support coming in by Jones. Lots of Jones out there at the moment. Not taken cleanly there by Nell Metcalf, as it just goes out of play on the near side, and far too easily England win the ball back.
Yeah, she's going to be really frustrated with that one. That was there for the basket. I think potentially she could just maybe see out the corner of her eye Ellie Kildunn coming through. But here we see Kira Bevan. She knows she got the penalty, takes that quick tap, gains a load of meters from it. Here, we'll watch this again now.
Ladies,
no excuse on this one. Yeah, should have taken that.
Please. Is there? Out of 22, not in.
The referee just very clear there that that line out is outside of the 22, so England can't kick it straight out because they'd be taking it back inside. They've taken it back inside again, so the high one comes up on Harrison. Breach is chasing, not looking at the ball though as it bounces over the head. Hunt gets it back, a little bit fortuitous there for England.
Backwards.
Now Metcalf loses it, but all back.
Wait, retreat.
Kildunn. She goes for the boot option again. It's bouncing and ends up going to Hannah Jones.
Play on. Back. England, back. Now play on.
Get to see Gwen Crabb there on the ball.
Use it.
Played a bit of Wales under-17 football in her time.
Advantage.
No footballing skills for her today, just all about power up front. Harrison taking the contact.
Good contest, come back. Always advancing.
And they come back for the penalty.
Always advancing in front of the kicker.
Okay, so they're going to come back then.
Oh, thank you.
Keeping a close eye on the replacements benches for both sides at the moment. Activity is expected to increase at some point.
Stops. Red, 1 and 4. 1 and 4, red.
And just as I say that, there is changes. When Lillian Pearce is making her way off. Abby Fleming as well. Maisie Davis onto the field there. Hello Pearce also on, so we don't get the two Pearce sisters on at the same time, which is a little bit of a shame, but still exciting to see them both involved in this Wales setup. The Pearce sisters are the first sisters to represent Wales together since 2008. That was Claire and Louise Horgan. Here come England on the attack again. Still Harrison, nobody wanted to tackle her. Quite happy to watch. Not a spectator sport. Atkin Davis.
Loss, red.
Bernardi, who has really powered on in every time she's had the ball in attack. Talling. Cabella.
Tackle!
Hunt. Aldcroft. Big leg drive from her. Each carry getting closer. Atkin Davis. Hunt looks up. Cabella goes round the corner. Oh, that was nearly poached there by Lewis. Spun back. Oh, that space was there. It went begging. England saw it. Kildunn gets a second. And that was clever work by England. The forwards were acting as the disguise, and the backs just finished the job.
Again, it was just forwards, rampaging round the corner, and so hard for Wales, because it just keeps coming. It's Cabella, it's Talling, it's Ward, but here, use the forward to the screen. It's a nice flat pass by Zoe Harrison there. It does allow time for any of those Welsh defenders to slide across. For Cox there, I think she's got no chance, she's got no space behind her to go back. And it's an easy finish by Ellie Kildunn there.
Zoe Harrison's 4 from 5 with the boots so far. Oh, and that one just bouncing off the upright. But she's had a good afternoon with the boot, Zoe Harrison.
Totally agree. I think even her distribution's been nice. Other than that first error, she looks very composed. She's comfortable with the kicking game. She's goal kicking very well. And here, you can hear her demanding the ball from Mo Hunt. She wants that. She's identified the space. She's demanding that. And I think that's the mark of a 10 who's got confidence. Moments like that where you want the ball.
You could just see her shuffling her feet, couldn't she? She was trying to sort of find that little window that Mo could actually see her in between the forwards.
Changes in the front row for England. Amy Cockayne onto the field. Maud Muir out there as well. Bernardi a couple of runs out now in that 8 shirt. Alex Matthews, who got a ban after a high challenge in the PWR final, will be available for their match against Ireland. Comes down the England back line. Here's Breach. She pushes through. Kildunn with the extra hack on. She's on for a hat-trick. Will she get it down? She thinks she scored it. They will go and check. The referee still hasn't given it.
She's checking.
I think England was forward the ball, so I'm not trying to knock on. Please have a look if the ground comes before.
Checking grounding.
Thank you.
This is the first time we've had the TMO come in for something like this in his fixture.
Getting some angles for you now.
Thank you.
Our TMO is Ollie Kellett of Australia. Waiting for the pictures to come in to show on the big screen.
Here they come.
It's whether she touched it the first time is the question.
So the player regathers the ball and presses down.
She press, yeah.
So you may overturn your on-field decision for the grounding. However, I just want to have a look at the last pass in the lead up to the try.
Thank you.
Okay, so they're saying that the try is fine, but now we're going to go back and see if the pass...
We're just getting the angle for the pass for you.
Thank you.
...was backwards or forwards. We feel the same, Ellie Kildunn. We feel the same. Well, we did have a little bit of this last week in a couple of the games. This was the pass to Jess Breach. It's going to go back then to Kildunn. He'll hack through.
Pass is good. This pass is good.
So,
yeah. Let's have a look on the offside.
The player is onside. This is the pass that we need to clear from 12 white.
So that one does look like it might have been forward, the pass between Hurd and Jones, which is a long rewind back down the field.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, then you may award the try.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I have a decision. Ball is pressed by White. Ball is pressed by White, so it's a try.
Agree.
Well, Wales are so confused because they think they've looked up at the big screen and they think they saw a forward pass. They're confused now. They've got to go behind the sticks because Zoe Harrison has got to take the conversion, but Ellie Kildunn does get a lasso dance, so she's happy.
She is, but probably Wales have got a fair call there because I think that probably was forward from Tatiana Hurd to Meg Jones. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because it's taken so much longer. How much more pressure is that putting on referees to make decisions?
Thank you.
Well, she shanked that one, but if we remember in the first half, there was a try from England where maybe we thought that the pass was backwards, so maybe this is tit for tat.
Balances it out, doesn't it? I mean, look, it's great interplay from England. I think this is something that Jess Breach has really adapted in her game. Previously, we would have seen her take the outside or take the tackle there. Putting on the foot is really smart. We know Ellie Kildunn is a very good footballer. She'll make good decisions, but I think from Jess Breach, it was a really nice bit of play there.
Just so Courtney Keat onto the field. And we get back underway after all that toing and throwing that ended up with the original decision. Hunt. Hurd. Talling. Hunt. Kildunn. Oh, everyone's trying to shout on the ball. It's a great snaffle there by Georgia Evans. Wales with a nice field position here. Keat.
Tackle!
And the ball popped up then. Just about held on by the red shirts. Peirce. Only her 5th cap today. Been playing a rugby for Gwalia Lightning. The Celtic challenge. Here comes Cox. Just getting in her stride. Tries to get it back inside, almost forcing it. England get it back. Bottoman. Muir. Frustration there for Maud Muir. Originally from Oxford. Gets ready to settle back down. Won't be enjoying seeing her face up on the big screen.
Thank you. Thank you, Ollie.
Bryony King now coming on. Former Wales Rugby League captain. She comes onto the field.
She also just tapped Georgia Evans there to say, off you go into the row, I'm going to A. And there was a big old eye roll from Georgia Evans there.
But Georgia Evans, I mean, that just does show her versatility. She loves the running at 8, but at the same time, she plays a lot in the row as well.
You're also not going to take her off. She's been one of Wales' standout players today. Like Phil talked about, her ability to win them one-on-one battles and the ball on the floor. She is huge for Wales.
That's a big scrum. That was motoring. But Wales have it now. Pass that right to Cox. Still Cox. Is someone there? Yes! Score by Kate Williams. A second try for Wales, and the Principality lights up.
Well, Sean Lynn said, didn't he? He wants the girls to be brave. And that was a very much a speculative offload back inside, but you have to go for it. These opportunities since that opening score for Wales have been few and far between, so why not winger? Back yourself on the outside edge, throw that ball inside. And luckily for Wales, Kate Williams was there. How the ball came out of the scrum in the first place, I don't really know. It was motoring backwards, but it did. And Wales have finally got some points on the board.
Really smart bit of play as well, because Wales went with the wheel. They haven't tried to find that. Carter Keat has bounced to that short side. Good 2v1. And like you say, them balls have been thrown back inside all day. One was always going to come off.
Well, no extras there for Wales, but that's actually the first points that they have scored now since the 6th minute in this match. It's been a long time coming, but they finally are starting to head in the right direction again on the scoreboard. Right, Lucy Packer onto the field then, the Harlequin replacing Gloucester Hartbury's Natasha Hunt. Going to take a seat. She spent the last game for England up in York, actually sitting in the coach's box with John Mitchell. I think she's just going to be heading to the subs bench on this occasion.
Take him back.
Lewis.
Use it! Take him back. Stop!
Packed down ball, hand on that by the fresh legs of Lucy Packer. Hurd. Packer, Bottoman, Talley. Harrison, Muir, Packer, Jones. Kildunn loses the ball behind her. Oh, you heard that quite clearly from our TMO.
Blocking in front of the ball carrier. 11, blocking.
So the warning there, Jess Breach just getting in a bit of a tangle there in front of the ball. Hannah Jones called that.
Yeah, she certainly brought that to the referee's attention, didn't she? It was just a bit of a mistiming of run. You always want a bit of misdirection, players running at different angles, so you can maybe run behind a bit of a screen, but you certainly can't directly affect a player's ability to tackle your teammate.
Kelsey Jones missed out on that PWR final with Gloucester Hartbury. She's still working back through her rehab. Back in time, though, for Wales. Nice long run by Bristol's Courtney Keats. Jones again. Nice show and go there by the Wales skip. Back outside to this near side. Neumann just tries to get that kick on. Well caught, though, in the end by Meg Jones. Powell there, frequently standing in that first receiver spot. Happy to boss around the Welsh backs and forwards. Keat. Powell now having to track back. Lucy Packer chasing.
Right outside. Use it!
Kelsey Jones.
Back! Use it!
Well, the box pick goes in underneath the roof. Not taken cleanly again by England. They lose ground, but Kildunn just looking for every opportunity to exploit. She's already scored a hat-trick here.
Use it!
Kildunn has actually taken most carries and she's taken most meters. Meg Jones with the footwork, knock on by Breach. And that was the little bit of footwork there by Meg Jones. Jess Breach not quite ready for that one.
I think the deception, Jess Breach thought she was going to go right across the front of her, didn't it? She wasn't expecting that pass. Meg Jones, ball in two hands, like you say, the footwork, the evasion, the ability to make two defenders turn in on her and then to put that ball into space.
Well, you saw that big number there on the big screen, 21,186. Philippa, a record for a standalone fixture for a Wales women's match here. I mean, a special moment.
Absolutely, what a fantastic moment for not only the sport of rugby, but also for women's sport here in Wales. And why wouldn't you come out to see the #1 team, England, perform, and also this very talented, very exciting Welsh rugby team develop?
Annoying there's more traffic, though.
You know what, I was walking around the stadium earlier and looking and seeing the roads being closed, seeing droves of fans coming in, and it was a really special moment. I almost sort of brought a tear to my eye. I've played, you know, up in the valleys where it was literally just our family were there. No one knew the game was happening. So now to be here, admittedly on the other side with the microphone in my hand, but still to see the development and the growth of the game is just fantastic. It's a very proud moment, and I applaud everyone that has come out here today to watch.
Yeah, certainly. It actually gave us memories of when England had their standalone game at Twickenham, when the crowd started flooding in. Similar scenes with the roads being closed. Wales are coming to the party.
Set! Oh.
King there just managing to hold on to the ball at the back. Powell is well wrapped up.
Not on the 9.
Big running yards coming in by Alo Pearce.
Taking back.
Keat managing to fly it away. Beth Ann Lewis. Jones with the long pass. Manages to get the hack away from Metcalf. That one looks like it is going to stay on field. Is it going to go over? No, Kildunn's going to have to gather. She can't take that over her own line, or she'll give a goal line dropout. And Kildunn is still going. Still Kildunn. That's stunning. And she hacks it away. That was some stunning individual work by Ellie Kildunn.
Use it. Use
You've really got to back yourself as a player and your individual skill if you're going to make those kind of decisions on a rugby field. And she does.
First man.
Big penalty. Right, I can see lots of subs waiting to get on for England at the moment. Middle of your screen there, debut about to happen for Abby Burton. Big cuddle going in for her from Rosie Galligan. Here she comes, Abby Burton, making her England debut. She's a two-time Olympian. Her backstory is absolutely incredible. She's managed to come back from having autoimmune encephalitis, where she ended up being sectioned. She was in a coma. She's been in hospital. She has fought back, and this is a huge moment for her and her family, Katie Daly-McLean.
It's massive. I don't think you can underestimate how much that takes out of somebody as a normal human being, never mind somebody who goes to 2 Olympics and then gets their first England cap. Just shows the strength of character of her to be able to do that, and what an absolute physical specimen she is to play number 8 at this level.
Yeah, she comes on, and I tell you what, she's entering into the battle for a back row spot at the World Cup later this year. Crossfield, Abby Dow is there! Can she finish? Yes, she does! How many times do we say, Abby Dow, wow, wow, wow?
It is, but that kick from Zoe Harrison was pinpoint. When you look at a crossfield kick, especially for the wingers, yes, you want your wingers to catch it, but she doesn't have to break stride. She can take that at full pace because it's in the perfect region. And look, it's a lovely in and out, and Phil, you'll know so much more about those than I would. But it is a on-the-money kick. It doesn't get any better than that.
You're exactly right, aren't you? We talk about the pass and it being in that passing window just in front to bring players on, but a kick is so much harder to get in that space. To see her in full flight, awesome bit of rugby.
Not to be that one by Zoe Harrison, but hey, the first kick was a beaut.
Oh, it really is. And look, she had so much pressure on her, didn't she? But completely in the zone of that kick. She wasn't looking or thinking about anything else but putting that ball exactly in the right spot.
Do you know the other thing I really like about that? That was pre-called. If you look at all the decision-making there was no decision. They'd already decided where they were going. They'd looked at how Wales's backline were defending and said, look, that's the space. And then it just becomes about execution. And sometimes they're harder because you know it's coming, rather than the ones that are called later when you just have to execute and hope.
Burton, first time on the ball. Bottomman, soft hands, Cabert. Meg Davis now on at scrum half for Wales. She didn't get on last week against Scotland. The chase is there. Metcalf on this occasion.
Use it.
Davis. Lewis. Davis again. Lost forward on that occasion by Maisie Davis. So there's a couple of Davis out there just to confuse you. Few Davis, few Jones. As the ball bobbers out of play on the near side.
It's a good decision by Holly Aitchison there. She's identified that backfield space. I don't think she wanted it to go that close to that touchline. She would have liked that just to roll on and let that England backline pressurise the Wales players that were coming across.
Wales have lost about 3 lineouts so far in this fixture, and they've just lost another one as England are just picking them out of the air. Aitchison there with the long pass that she's famed for. That's a great strip. Really nice from Wales. They knew Kildare was going to take that into contact, and they thought, let's have it.
Tackle!
Davis, Purse, only 19 years old.
Take him back.
Back it comes. That one charged down. Ward trying to get it away quickly.
Tackle.
Breach can't gather. It's been knocked on.
In the tackle.
So they'll come back for an England scrum.
Touch in the tackle. White. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. But yeah.
That was the strip.
Tackle. Scrum.
It's a really good strip, isn't it, by Pyrrhus again. Just gets Ellie Kildare upright, and as soon as you're upright, it becomes so hard to get your chest over that ball. Such a physical carrier, isn't it? And then she gets her hands free and gets a nice little offload.
There's a little bit of treatment going on then to Ellie Kildan on the field here. I'm not sure if Helena Rowland's come onto the field yet. So they do have another back if required, and they don't need to risk anyone here at the moment.
They certainly don't. You could just hear Ellie Kildan or read her lips saying, "Don't take me off, don't take me off." She's obviously enjoying herself here today, but just want to go back to Aloe Pearce. Is a fantastic young, exciting talent. Played in the under-18s, played in the 20s, and also now playing in the seniors.
Well, Ellie Kildan, her 50th cap, a hat-trick. It's been none too shabby.
It's not a bad day at the office, is it? I think she's been very good. You know, there's a lot of pressure on Ellie Kildan. I think World Player of the Year, people expect, and if I'm honest, she keeps delivering.
Well, here's someone who's stepping up to deliver in her place. Helena Rowland comes on. We'll keep an eye on the backfield about where Rowland actually slips in, because a lot of these players can play in a lot of different positions.
I mean, ultimately, you've got 3 halfbacks potentially on the pitch there. I think Helena Rowland has jumped into that 15 shirt, which for me, I think she can really add something. She's such a good runner, ball in hand, especially with space.
Advantage.
Advantage to England, a free hit here. Back it goes, they're flooding this left-hand channel. Rowland with the pass out, but it's forward.
Forward. Let's go back.
They'll come back.
Cranking.
Do get a little bit of a taste of it there, that lateral speed. She wants to be off Zoe Harrison's shoulder there, trying to just pick the space, whether a hole opens or whether she needs to distribute, of which she's got both skills.
England setting up then for the attacking line out. Amy Cockayne, she actually stole a couple of line outs last week. She's England's most capped player involved in this 23 today. 85th time she steps out as Cabella comes away. This is strong from England. Gallagher, fresh legs off the bench. Burton's waiting at first receiver. Burton going, scoring on debut. What a day for Abby Burton. And you can see it's not just for her. Everyone wanted that for the one they call Bertie.
Oh, what an amazing moment. I mean, you've talked about what she's been through, but just put this into context. She had to learn how to walk again, and now we see her on the international stage playing rugby for one of the best teams in the world, and on debut scoring a try.
I mean, it's such a great carry as well. That's Georgia Evans and I think Bethan Lewis. So it's not like she's running into small carriers, and she knocks both of them back. We thought Maddie Fainarty was kind of doing a really good job in the place of Alex Matthews, and then they've just brought on Abby Burton, and she's just got whatever you two can do, I can do as well. It's a really good carry.
Burton has been to 2 Olympic Games with England's sevens, both Tokyo and Paris. But she said on her bucket list it was to put on the white shirt of England, and it's those kind of mistakes that Wales just cannot do at this level.
They can't, but I get it. With the scoreboard looking out like it is, and the last couple of minutes of the game, why not try something different? It didn't work, it wasn't executed right, but I don't blame her for actually trying something different.
It also has a lot of potential, because if you look at the way England set up on kickoff, they have 4 pods of 2 waiting for that high ball. If you can execute that and you can get the ball into space, you've got 4 forwards moving around for that. So better execution, and it's a good option for Wales.
Well, you might not know it, but England struggled in the second half last week against Italy. Not been the case this time out. Women's Six Nations moves into a fallow week next week, so everyone will get rested up. Then it's 3 weekends to finish the campaign. England will be travelling over to Ireland. Wales will be travelling over to France. Pass out comes then from Rowland. Dow is there. Going back to gather that one is Powell.
Back.
And again, another gift to England. Wrapped up, bow on top, have this scrum.
Yeah, some tired bodies, some tired minds out there. You feel those moments in the second half where Wales have been able to get those ins, get that, you know, momentum back, get a bit of confidence back. Just hasn't happened.
Maisie Davis hugely frustrated there. Only her third cap. Played quite a lot of Wales under-20s. A lot of people saying she's got a real bright future ahead of her. And Sean Lynn has been very keen on making sure that a lot of the youth of Wales get involved in the setup. We know he's had some of the under-18s in, having a look at what it's like to be a Wales player, have them in the training camp.
Yeah, absolutely, so important. It's fantastic now for Wales that they have got that under-18 structure, the 20s structure. They've also got the Celtic Challenge, offering a variety of opportunities for girls throughout Wales to be able to play and see that clear pathway to the national team.
They're going to go down that tight channel on the far side. Out it goes, Dow in the corner. 10 tries for England, a second for Dow, and that is now 60 points on the board.
Well, England have certainly put that second half drought that they had against Italy in round one to bed. They've been absolutely ruthless. And when they've sensed that maybe the Welsh motivation is starting to creak a bit, they've pounced on it. All the impact of the bench making the full hit.
Well, that scrum has been a real weapon for England. And Abby Dow, who hasn't played for a long time, looking like she's never really been away. Another one off the post there for Zoe Harrison. Plenty of time then for a restart.
And it's that scoop from Lucy Packer. You see her coming round and that little stutter step. That just stops the Welsh defender from shooting off and away to close down that space that was preserved then on the edge for Abby Dow.
Going into the air. Ball goes down onto the ground. Ball goes back then. High one comes up then from England. Packer. Rowland just gets caught there, playing, of course, fly half last week. Aitchison can't get that pass to anyone. Evans sees an opportunity. Meg Davis down on the ground. Jones. Williams. Well, Georgia Evans has fought away in this Welsh outfit. She really has proven herself today, but it has been England's day, certainly. There's absolutely no one at home there. Oh, that was almost a 50-22, almost. Okay, whilst they get ready for this, while they just get ready for this line-out, Phil, who is our Women's Six Nations Player of the Match?
I want to give some honorary mentions to some of the Welsh players who I think have been absolutely standout. Lisa Neumann, Georgia Evans has been everywhere. But it's going to come from England, and there have been some superstar performances. And Ellie Killdunn, top ball carrier, fantastic kicks, got a couple of assists as well. Brilliant.
What a day for Ellie Killdunn. I mean, what a year for Ellie Killdunn. Well, Player of the Year. Got her own podcast as well now, Rugby Rodeo, that she does with her teammate Jess Breach. It is all going her way at the moment as that one is charged down.
Thank you.
The ball stays in play, we play on. And what have England got in the closing moments here? Will Wales get this off the park, or will they play on?
Tackle!
Bottoman. Aldcroft, there's numbers out here, Muir. Burton, could she be in for a second? What a slide, what a finish. 2 tries from Burton, and England have definitely arrived in this Six Nations. They stuttered against Italy, but they have powered through Wales.
As you mentioned, brilliant timing on the dive there, because there was 2 Welsh players coming across, could have snuck under that ball potentially. But Abby Burton knew she had the momentum. Great hands there from getting that ball out wide. You could just see Jess Breach sort of saying, I'm with you, but go yourself.
She could just see out the corner of her eye the Welsh shirts rushing towards her. I mean, if there'd been a bit of rain inside the Principality, we'd had a great splash of mud up in the air, but not to be. There's a lovely kick to finish on from Zoe Harrison as well. Wales started brightly. They have got a couple of tries, but this fixture has all been about one side. It's been about England, who have really built throughout the 80 minutes to take this victory and power on in this Six Nations campaign. Hugs and cuddles for Wales, who still have plenty to work on, but it has been an England day. Final score at the Principality, Wales 12, England 65. So both sides just doing the hugs, the cuddles, but the smiles going to Ellie Kildunn, of course. So much spoken about her. She's just one of those players that really backs herself the whole time. Strong outing from Natasha Hunt. First time she's played now since that victory for Gloucester Hartbury in the PWR final. And there's a co-captain at Gloucester Hartbury. Now the Red Roses skipper, Zoe Aldcroft. She's already lifted 1 trophy today. Could she lift 2, maybe 3 this year? You just don't know. Abby Burton as well there on your screen. So much happiness, so much joy. All these players know each other, but that is it now inside the Principality.
Sarah, Philippa, thank you so much. Katie has joined us in the studio here alongside Shuan and Simon, and we've just seen a dominant England demolish Wales there, really.
Yeah, they proved everything they are as a side today. You know, he picked a really strong side and they put a really strong performance in.
He certainly did, Katie. And as for Wales, Shuan first, a lot to take away, a lot of positives that they can take away from that performance, but it wasn't what they wanted for this record crowd here at the Principality.
No, absolutely not. You know, we spoke about the score last year, and if maybe something was close to that, it wouldn't have been bad against this England side. The score ran away in the end. England become confident, they become clinical. Wales started well, but it's just got to be a bit more consistent with performance.
We talked about the fact that John Mitchell effectively has 2 sides at the moment, the one that started the campaign against Italy and the one here we saw beat that Wales side 67 points to 12. Katie, that's the 18.
It is. I think it was definitely a better performance, but we're in round 2 as well. So that group had another week to kind of, I suppose, learn what the other guys didn't get right. But I thought, look, Zoe Harrison pulled the strings sublimely. Thought she was very good. Ellie Kildunn, Abby Dow went really wild. Moena Tellen in the row. You know, I think the difference was a lot more of England's starters played well and continued to play well in that second half.
Well, I think they just did the basics of the game so well. They were really disciplined with the performance. I thought second half, what will John Mitchell be saying at half-time? I think he'll be saying, can we stick to the plan? Can we show the discipline to do what we done in the first 40? And they did brilliantly.
Can we be clinical? And they were clinical.
Yeah. 100%. You know, the way some of the kicks, the execution of the kicks, the territory game, not overplaying in certain areas, the forwards we spoke about, getting over the gain line north to south. We've seen that from England this afternoon.
Well, there he is, a smiling John Mitchell, England's head coach, as the players hug and congratulate each other on a comprehensive win, a big performance as well. And we'll look back at the tries in the second half and the importance of that kicking game in a moment. But let's hear from player of the match. Ellie Kildunn is with Sonia McLaughlin.
Ellie, many congratulations. A hat-trick on your 50th cap. I don't imagine you had that on your bingo card today, did you?
No, I didn't, honestly. You couldn't be better than that. You can't write it. I couldn't have imagined it. And everything today is just kind of fit in. We've got lots to work on still, but to walk out on my 50th cap in front of such an incredible crowd in an incredible stadium is something I'm very honoured for and I'm proud of.
There's so much expectation on you every time you touch the ball. Do you ever feel the weight of that when you pull on this white jersey?
No, pressure is definitely a privilege, and you know, every time we step out here as an England squad, we want to surprise and keep on raising that expectation, because we're going to keep on going. We're not at our best yet. We're going to keep on getting better, and a lot more is to come.
So when this team does click, 11 tries today, I think he clicked. What could the potential be, do you think?
The unimaginable. Seriously. We're going to keep on getting better, and I really think we're going to take it to levels we've not been to before. Obviously, we've got the rest of the Six Nations and then a big tournament at the end of the year, and we're going to just keep on pushing until we get to a point that we can't imagine what's next.
Oh, it's a great joy to watch you. Many congratulations. You are the player of the match.
Thank you very much.
World Player of the Year, 9 tries in last year's Six Nations, 14 across the season internationally for Ellie Kildunn. One of the most recognisable faces in the women's game, her distinctive style, her brilliant running style. She's such a sublime athlete, isn't she? You just let her do what she wants.
Yeah, she's incredible, you know, and she's such self-belief, and she always has that. She said a few years ago, I'm going to be World Player of the Year. She is.
OK, let's have a little look then at where that leaves the table tonight, with one match yet to play in round 2. England on 10 points. They've taken bonus points from both their matches so far. France have only managed a 1 from their 2 wins so far, so they're on 9 points, with Scotland on 4. Wales with that solitary points from last week's visit up to Edinburgh, and Ireland and Italy yet to get off the mark. OK, let's hear from the England captain now, shall we? Zoe is with Sonia.
Well, Zoe, many congratulations. That was ultimately emphatic by England. Did you need that a little bit after that second half against Italy?
Yeah, definitely. I think all week we've spoken about our intent and how we want to give that 80-minute performance. I think in the first half we slipped upon a bit of execution, and we spoke about that at half-time and how we were going to get back on track by being direct, and just cannot fault the effort from the girls. Like the intent from minute 1 to 80, they just kept going and going.
There's been a slight shift in how John Mitchell wants you to play, more direct. Is basically the emphasis. Has that meant a little bit of an adjustment from the Red Roses?
I think obviously you can see we've got strong ball carriers, so we love that about the game plan. So no, yeah, it's great.
There's such an embarrassment of riches amongst this squad. Just give us a sense, you know, I know it's the Six Nations, but there is a World Cup to come. What the competition for places is like right now?
I think the competition is healthy. Like, we need the competition to help each individual grow and each position to grow. So I think the competition is super healthy, and it'll just help us evolve from there.
Well, many congratulations today. Well done to you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, I'm delighted to say Meg Jones is about to join us in the studio. I might have to bring you around here, Meg, so that you can hear me, because the noise is it's still quite lively and loud.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A brilliant, emphatic win. You scored a try to boot here in Cardiff, the city of your birth, in the most incredible stadium that I'm sure you've watched on from afar and wanted to come and play here. Describe the emotions for you today.
I haven't played here since I was 12. I think we only had that tier kind of covered, and it was a 5-0 game, so it was pretty a bit of a thriller. So no, it was good to get everyone out. Like, obviously a lot of emotions for me this week. I tried to hold them in, and then I started hearing both the anthems, and I was just kind of like, this is really taking me a little bit. So it's been a good week. I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can, and I know they'd both be proud of me as well. So I just carry that with me as much as I can. And I said in the week, it's no different. They're probably just in the crowd somewhere. My dad would have gone home by now anyway, because he hates all the chaos. So he'd be at home having a cup of tea. So I'll probably see him in a week's time, basically. But no, I'm immensely proud of the girls. Played some good rugby. But again, at the end, we're kind of like hypercritical on everything. You know what it's like. We're there saying we lost. We probably missed a couple of errors out there, missed a couple of opportunities. So, against good sides, that's gonna kill us. But we stayed on top.
You certainly did stay on top. I mean, the try scoring in the second half was pretty emphatic. We heard Ellie there being asked by Sonia where this team can go. How much more have you got?
Yeah, loads. I think, Mitch is telling us to take the handbrake off. I think Jazz owes me a owes me a coffee for that one, don't
I was
she?
about to say, did you give her a fiver in the interview for that?
More than a fiver, that cost me.
I could just imagine how that fullback was feeling. Oh no.
Hey, I wasn't passing, was I? I was balling when I there we are.
You weren't going to let that opportunity go.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing. And the girls loved it as well. And I think that's what we've tried to G each other up, empower each other. When mistakes happen, that's fine. That's part of the game. Just how we can move on and keep building as a team. And super proud of all the girls this week. And Abby Burton getting a first start, Ellie getting a 50th. Like, that couldn't have aligned better. Those two girls played with each other in Yorkshire. So, for them to now play here together on their first and 50th, I think happy days. And they both got some good tries.
Yeah, 13 changes from last week. How difficult is it to kind of know where you are in the scheme of things with John Mitchell in terms of the competition for places?
No, it's not hard because we build those combinations in a week. We played with each other. We had a short period together, so we were trying out two teams and really going at each other and training. So that's kind of how it's been, really.
How much is that competition and training raising the level of this England side?
Well, my competition's Emily Scarrett, so you tell me how hard that competition is. No, it's class though. Like, Scouts is messaging me before the game, like, go well, like, I'm behind you all the way. And that's just sort of competition we have. We're ferocious on the pitch, we're hypercritical with each other, what can we do better? But we're also aware of our super strengths and what we bring differently, and I think that's important.
And finally, this is the start, if you like, of a huge year potentially. You've got to keep your eye on this, the Six Nations, but that's down there in the distance, isn't it, that World Cup? And that's what this is all about, presumably, this competition for places, knowing that that is the reward at the end of it, and you are the favourite in a home World Cup.
Yeah, of course, we talk about the present moment, keeping our feet where we are and just enjoying the journey as much as we can. So that's all we can do, that's all we can control. It's all good saying what's to come or what's been before us, but I said it before the game, the game doesn't care about what you've done last week, what you've done 3 years ago, what you're going to do. It's about the present moment, it's about the now. It also doesn't care what position you're in, so you just got to crack on and get your heart.
We're going to let you go because I'm sure there are plenty of people you want to go and say hello to, and not least your teammates. Thank you so much for joining us, Meg. Okay, let's hear, shall we, from the Wales head coach. Sean Lynn is with Sonia.
Talk about the game in a second, but just as an occasion for women's sport in Wales, how proud does this make you feel?
Oh, very proud, and just a massive thank you to everybody who's come here today. Just an amazing occasion, and big thank you.
Wales started really brightly. I wonder just what was going through your mind when you were 7-0 up?
Yeah, look, everything I'm talking about is making sure that we're always moving forward, and I thought some of our attack play out there today was outstanding. And like you said, we just fell away, but you've got to remember we're playing against the best in the world. Not many other teams in the world can make 13 changes, and that's where England are at the moment. But full credit to our girls. We just fell away in that maybe 50-60 minute mark, but I'm super proud of them.
You look at the calibre of the athletes that England have, those that have scored, Ellie Kill scoring a hat-trick on her 50th cap, World Player of the Year. Defensively, in a short period of time, how much can you get better?
We have to get better. Every game we've got to be getting better. We got France, Ireland and Italy left, and we've got to be getting better, and that's simple.
How can you do it though in such a short period of time?
It's just making sure that the girls are aware of the systems, and some of the girls are just saying they can see the successes at times, but it's trying to fix it on the pitch.
And you did get a late score through Kate Williams. I mean, does that just give you encouragement that the energy and the grit is there?
Oh, definitely, and the question I was asking them, how hard are they willing to fight for each other, and they certainly showed that today.
Appreciate your time.
Lovely, thank you.
From Wales head coach to England head coach, John Mitchell's joined us in the studio. Congratulations, that was an emphatic win. Meg Jones just said that you're in the ring talking, and one of the first things you talk about is the things that maybe they could have done better today. What could they have done better today?
I think we looked like a side that were new as a combination, so we didn't start particularly well, but we grew into that second half and built some good pressure. I'm really glad the way they've responded to that, to what Wales did to us. And then I just think we're a side that can't afford to get bored with the basics, because I think when our basics are poor, that lets us down and obviously brings the opposition in.
Sorry, go on. What do you think are the key bits though? So you talk about basics, but for you, what is that?
last pass. Yeah, like we finished some edges. We had some edges to win in the first half, which we didn't finish off. Obviously, stuff on the floor when you carry, and then just we're so good at tipping. We're always asking the questions of the defence. Sometimes we probably just get a little bit too proactive in that area, but however, you don't really want to take away the ambition either.
Ellie Kildun's 50th try, she gets a hat-trick, she gets player of the match. How much more can you get from Ellie Kildun? Or do you just let her do what she wants?
Well, Ellie's starting to serve the team in different ways, and there's going to be times where teams are going to take away the counter attack from her, so how she finds entry. So she's got her plan A, which is she's world class at, but she's going to have to adapt in 25 because certain good teams are going to not allow her to get ball, so we've got to use her in the right way.
In a moment when you've gone, we're going to have a look at Zoe Harrison's kicking game today and how important that was for your team today. How pleased were you with her performance?
Yeah, well, I think we had 450 more kicking metres. We found the backfield. We went after the backfield actually today. We went after the middle, and then eventually the backfield came. So
I thought the way you found the backfield as well, it wasn't just one kicker. You know, as Abby Dow's putting it in there, Kildun's putting it in the back, Zoe Harrison's kicking. Yeah, I thought you managed the field brilliantly, and you know, just so much pressure on Wales.
Yeah, Wales sort of left the backfield a lot with one person. So you've got to exploit it. It's an easy way to get up the field, isn't it?
Yeah. But just in terms of like some of the kick sort of mix as well, kick into attack, not just defensive kicks. Some of the kicks to score, to create things were just brilliant.
Yeah, I think we've probably got the best team in the world in terms of where our kicking's progressing. Holler's Andrew Holloway, who works with the girls, and Lou, that we're really advancing in that area. And so the ball behind on the edges is such an attacking kick. Yeah.
Did you feel like you grew into the game and executed that tactical territory kicking game today?
Yeah, we did. I think you saw Mo's first little chip. If that had hit grass, I think that would have created a bit more trouble as well. Yeah. But yeah, the girls just, I mean, they're human, aren't they? They're starting to play international rugby again, and they looked a little bit nervous. I just said to them at halftime, take the handbrake off. You know, that's what we're about. You know, some girls are just a little bit nervous and a bit cautious. Yeah. We're
going to let you go in just a second, but you played one team against Italy, played pretty much another team here against. What happens with Ireland?
Yeah, we'll just pick the best tactical group, I think.
Do you start to play your best 15, you know, for the rest of the year, or are you going to make these wholesale changes, do you think?
I reckon we'll go our best combination tactically. I had a look at Ireland during the week. There's some opportunities to exploit there, and we've obviously very, very lucky to have the girls that are able to create different skill sets. So yeah, we'll just see what plays out. But I mean, it's a good start by both teams.
Okay, well, enjoy the weekend off, the fallow weekend. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Gabby.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
And we'll find out, won't we, in the days ahead of that Ireland game, who gets the nod. Whoever gets the nod for that Ireland game will think themselves now, and we heard it from Meg there, really in competition. I mean, you've got to hang on to that shirt.
I love that, though. Do you know what I mean? That strength and depth, that just drives standards continuously. Like, they could have almost a different 15 again, which is phenomenal for a team to be in that position.
But do you not think you must have been smart at that? Oh, I'll pick my best tactical side. Who knows what that means? You would not answer the question of, oh, will it be your best 15? It's a very coaching line.
Well, of course it is. But like, what I'm thinking is, has he played the game today he wants to play, or has he just played another version of a game? You know what I mean? So last week...
Do you think that the answer to all these questions, at the end of the Six Nations, we'll have a better idea? If you're the night before England are in a World Cup final, we'll know who that 15 are.
No.
No.
I think what we're trying to find out is, though, he is using players for certain outcomes. So today, he went after the backfield, so he used Zoe Harrison. And I probably said he wasn't doing that. But actually, on the outcome of that game, he did. And she did it really well.
We're just going to get a bit of Welsh reaction, because we're going to hear from Captain Hannah Jones, who is with Sonia.
Hannah, just sum up the sense of disappointment right now, because Wales started really brightly.
Yeah, definitely. We can take some positives from that, and there's lots to learn into. We've got to learn fast. But, you know, they're number one in the world for a reason, and at times we took them to a dark place, and that's what we wanted to do.
I know Sean Lynn's not been in for very long, but just give us a sense of what he has been able to bring to you in these 2 games.
Passion and energy, you know, he's a proud Welshman, he's got that experience of working with us across the Hartbury, a winning mentality, so yeah, quick fixes, and yeah, we've got to move fast on.
What do you think you can take from today ahead of your next game in round 3?
I think defensively we've got to make our one-on-ones and slow the ball down. As soon as we slow that ball down, we can get set in defence to make our one-on-ones. It's just that the speed of ball was unreal from more than we knew that was going to come, so just that.
You know that England are the #1 side in the world, but just what is it like to play them and to realise, you know, what the gulf is at this stage of the Welsh development?
Yeah, it's fast, it's physical, it's top-end rugby, and you know that's where we're going to get to at one time.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, can I just say thank you to everyone as well that's come to support. The atmosphere was outstanding, so thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Sarah Burns joined us in the studio. Congratulations on the win, on your try as well. Great performance.
Thank you so much. It's so fun to be here and to have a record-breaking crowd as well. It just totally filled the stadium up.
Yeah, there was a lot of joy in the crowd in spite of the scoreline for Wales. A big moment for women's sport in this country, which, you know, you're pushing the boundaries at Twickenham with the crowds that we've seen there. You understand how important that is.
It's massively important, and like these girls have got a new energy, they've got a new coach, they're playing some really exciting rugby, and they need the support of their fans. So having a record like that today is just phenomenal, and I really hope that they get a good crowd for the rest of the tournament.
Shall we have a look at your try? Go on then. Talk us through it.
This is a line out, and I take it. Basically, we've got a rip round the corner there, and I just said to Maddie, tip me the ball, tip me the ball. I said, please, I said, there's going to be a big space, tip me the ball, yeah. And that was it.
Now, look, it'd be really rude to have you in the studio and not do some kind of social media, because you are the queen, obviously. One of the things you do on your account is your kind of outfit of the day as well. So talk us through this one.
Okay, outfit of the day. We have Nike boots, a little bit warm there, but yeah, socks down, England shorts, England shirt, hair braid. That's it. That's it.
Okay, well,
sweat and paint.
Can you do something? You know, you've brought your phone, of course. Can we have a live TikTok?
Yeah, we can. Jasmine Joyce is going to help me on this one.
This is I like this. United on the social media front.
Right, Midge, you can hold the camera.
Are you sure you want him to do that?
Join in?
What are you doing?
What do you mean? Chicken banana. That's it. It's just chicken banana. That's it.
Come on.
Chewy wants to do it.
All right,
Chewy
I'm in.
wants to do it. Okay.
Is this a live? This is a live, yeah?
This is on live, yeah. Lucky viewers. Right.
There's a countdown going on, by the way. You can't see this. So in 5 seconds, if you're on TikTok, you'll see this.
Okay, ready? Is everyone in?
We failed miserably. Sorry, Bernard.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's you're going to be a #1 TikTok, but I think it was worth a go.
It was a bit of last minute, so I didn't have a lot of preparation. I'm really sorry.
Couldn't see where we were sat. But did you manage to get the crowd dancing?
Not yet, but I did while I was trying to show Jazz that TikTok there, and the girls started joining in, so I might head back over there and see if they can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of what you're famous for, isn't it? So we should let you go on and perform.
They will be better than us as well.
Sorry about that to everyone.
Yeah, for all people on TikTok.
I didn't mind, mate.
Thank you, Sarah. You go and entertain the crowd over there. Well, there was one incredible story out there today. Abby Burton got her debut for England in this Six Nations in the 15s. Of course, she's been a phenomenal player in the 7s, and she's had an incredible few years. Fighting a really serious battle of ill health, was put into an induced coma. Perhaps her family thought she would never play rugby or play top-level sport again, but there she was, out there on the field of play today with 2 tries. She's come away from this emphatic victory, and Sonia is with her now.
They don't let up, do you? You've just had to do an additional warm down, haven't you?
Yeah, need to make sure that we get our extras in if we're not on the full pitch. So, yeah, it's all right. The girls work hard, so we need to make sure that we do our extras as well.
Yeah, that's because you were a replacement. But what an entry to make your debut, 2 tries. I can't imagine the emotions you must be experiencing at the minute.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited. I'm just like, I just can't put into words exactly what I feel like. I've tried not to let the emotion get too better of me this week, but like, honestly, this group's unbelievable, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. So yeah, it was a dream debut.
Because Sarah Orchard and Gabby Logan were mentioning your story. I mean, you had a terrible time with illness, a long time in hospital. You were put in an induced coma for a period of time. you couldn't possibly have ever imagined? Could you be standing at the Principality Stadium and making your debut?
Honestly, earlier on this week when we came for Team Run, I just stood here and I just absolutely relished it. It's unbelievable, and to make my debut here also is like a really big dream come true. I'd say that, yeah, Twickenham would be amazing, but this is also pretty cool as well.
Having had a taste of this, how much are you thinking, right, it's a Rugby World Cup year, you know, I've had so many setbacks, I'm not going to let this now stand in my way?
Obviously, like, I would love to be involved in the World Cup at the end of the year, but right now trying to focus on the here and now, want to get loads of experience in this Six Nations campaign and really want to try and cement myself in this group.
Well, it's just many, many congratulations. It's so heartwarming, and congratulations too. This is a debut you won't forget.
Oh, thank you so much, thank you.
Just an incredible story, and how she's battled back from something so dreadful. And for her, physically, emotionally, she lost so much weight, obviously, and you know that physical power and strength she needed to get back, but the mental power and strength to get back in to play top-level rugby.
I think it's phenomenal. I mean, you listen to what she went through, how the misdiagnosis and the whole story of Abby Burton. So just to be back living is amazing. Never mind, like you say, she then went as a travelling reserve to the Olympics, and then to fight her way back or into that back row that we've talked about is so competitive. So to get your first cap at this moment in time for England rugby is absolutely amazing.
Do you know what we've seen today? Incredible role models, female athlete role models, fighting against adversity, coming back. And it's phenomenal to see, isn't it? And there's just a couple of examples today. It's really inspiring.
Great to see her there with her family, who, of course, were by her side through that whole dreadful experience. And we've got so many tries that we haven't had a chance to even look at yet. So I've asked you to pick your favourite, and it involves a beautiful crossfield kick.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, forwards do the work, and then, you know, Zoe Harrison gets the ball, and I think Katie said on commentary, you know, this is premeditated. They've set this up. They looked at the width of the defence, and that is pinpoint. And also, you know, the skill of catching the ball on the run, regaining your balance, and stepping and scoring.
It's nothing about the catch, come on. It's the ability, though, to put that in space, because sometimes they're the worst. When you know it's coming to you and you've got to put it on the money, they're the ones you overthink. But I thought it probably topped off Zoe Harrison's game for me today. Icing on the cake kind of moment.
It's impossible to defend, isn't it? That is like straight from the training park, execution. How can you defend against that?
And England's back three today, is that the back three, do you think, for John Mitchell?
I think Kildun and Dow, definitely. I think Jess, you know, there's going to be some competition, some hot competition. I thought Mia Venner was really good last week, and she's brought a new dimension and a new sort of challenge. So I think 2 out of the 3 are an absolute shoe-in.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting, isn't it? You know, you look at Mia Venner last week, she's very different to Jess. She's probably a bit more physical, a bit more competitive, likes that edge space. But I mean, you know, Jess Breach on form as well. You're not going to bet against her, are you?
No, of course. And, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about us, Sarah. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. I genuinely thought we were going to be the subject of another live TikTok, so I was slightly on edge there, but you know, she's so relaxed with us that she just walks through shop. Not enough Sarah Byrne on the telly. I think
she could play on the wing. She could play on the other wing.
There's a fallow week next week, chance for Wales to just take stock, and obviously he's been in this job for just a matter of weeks, Sean Lynn. This is just his second match today. A big moment for him and his family, obviously, there. They'd have liked to have seen a tighter game. There's work to be done, and they're going to need this time.
100%. You know, he's been in two weeks, like you said, Gabby. He's had probably 6 sessions with the team. They'll build. What we see right now won't be what the type of play we see from Wales in the Rugby World Cup. He's a good guy. He's all about energy. He's all about culture, and that's what the squad need right now.
But that will hurt. I'll tell you that will really hurt Sean. He's got a lot of video footage to go through and a lot of stuff to work on there for sure. But you know, that's a bit of a baptism of fire. And,
when you're so successful in the club game, it's hard, isn't it, to get your head around these kinds of defeats. You know, the three-peat, of course, with Gloucester Hartpury, and here today, a massive defeat for Wales. He'll have to pick the bones through that performance, take some positives. For John Mitchell, though, that today was an emphatic win, as I say, 11 tries, a brilliant performance from his women. Thank you so much, guys. Been lovely enjoying your company here at the Principality. An historic day, though, because a record crowd for Welsh women's sport. They'll take that away from today. England, though, and John Mitchell will take away a fantastic performance and move on. It's Ireland next for them.
crowd in here for a standalone fixture for women's sport in Wales. Great touch. Evans goes. Oh, so close. That try given. Wales score. Penalty. What a run by the Welsh-born Meg Jones. Huge pass out wide to Kildan, and that is the pick of the tries so far from England. Crossfield, Abby Dow is there! How many times do we say Abby Dow? Wow, wow, wow!